everybody. Welcome back to Terps Esports. Live from College Park, my name is Lily.
And my name is Simon. Tonight we have our Gamechangers Academy Valorant team competing in a best of 3 against Embry-Riddle for NECC.
In our pre-show, we'll introduce each member of the team as well as get in an interview with one of them.
In case you aren't familiar with the game, let's discuss the rules of your typical Valorant match. Valorant is an FPS 5v5 team-based game where the goal is to defend or attack the opposite team.
And like Simon mentioned, for this game, the Terps are competing against Embry-Riddle in a best of 3 regular season NECC matchup.
It's still pretty early in the season, and this team is currently 0-3 in NECC, so winning this game would be a great way to start their momentum for this season.
And so now that you know what's at stake tonight, it's time for us to introduce you to the members of the team. In terms of roles, tonight we'll be seeing Linify on Initiator.
So Lynn on Initiator is actually something new. Lynn used to play Duelist, so she's been putting in a lot of work this season with just playing a new role and learning a whole new sect of an agent.
And next up, we have Gojo, who's going to be playing Sentinel.
The classic Gojo Senti. We know Gojo's so patient as her Senti. It's like her best thing, her skill.
We also have Toxic, who's going to be playing Flex tonight.
I love Toxic because Toxic is just a jack of all trades. She knows how to play Initiator, Smokes, you name it. So I'm really excited to maybe see a Breach or something. I know she's been practicing that.
And second to last, we have Isenia, who's been playing on Controller.
Yeah, I'm so excited for Ives because this is Ives' first semester in Terps Esports, so I hope it's been going well.
And now there's one more player who we have to mention, and for that, I'm going to hand it over to Sima.
Okay, so lastly, I would love to mention Grace. We're going to interview her. Grace is our duelist, and she has some seriously awesome stats. She currently has an average combat score of 278, an average damage per round of 175, a KD of 1.27, and she recently broke the Terps Esports record of most kills in a best of 3 match. She got 92 kills, which is only 1 kill away from the VCT record. So hi Grace, how are you?
I'm good, thank you for asking.
So I know you're new to the season and like new to the program, so I wanted to ask, how was it like trying out? What was the process like? How's it like being on a team?
So the process of getting onto the team was very fun. I enjoyed tryouts and it was just a fun experience getting to know everybody. And being on a team, it has been a scary experience.
It's different, yeah.
Yeah, it's different than solo queue,
yeah,
right?
for real.
But I've loved every moment of it. I love getting to know everybody, and I've just had a great time.
Yeah. Okay, so obviously you have some incredible stats. So like I mentioned earlier, you just dropped 92 kills in one BO3 match, and you're just one kill off the VCT record. So I wanted to ask, like, what went well during that game? Did you notice that you were like dropping all these kills, or was it like oh, I just did that like afterwards?
I wasn't really paying attention. I was just trying to play my game. I guess I was locked in.
So you're just like better, yeah.
Oh, say so. No, but I think what helped was they let me play Reyna. They never let me play Reyna, and
they let me
yeah,
play Reyna. Yeah, Reyna's fun. Okay, my last question is, what has been your favorite thing about the team so far?
My favorite thing about the team is just like the synergy we have and how close we are with each other, and
yeah,
we're all
yeah,
besties.
I see like every night we're like on a Discord call.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. Okay, but one more question. Do you have any hype songs? Anything specific?
Interesting that you'd ask that. We have a Meow anthem.
A Meow anthem.
Yeah.
Shall we perform, maybe?
No. Shall we do it on 3?
Yeah, yeah. 3.
One.
Oh, 1, 2, 3.
Meow, 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 meow.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, best of luck. We will be right back after this commercial break.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We are just about to head into the first map of the series.
Yep. I believe it's Haven, and we are on attack. That is definitely our specialty, attack. We are really good at. Haven is a map that we've practiced a ton and have played a ton, so I'm hoping we see good things here.
Yeah, and in case you guys don't know, Saima is actually on the roster for this team. So she has a lot of knowledge and a lot of intel about what, they're thinking round for round. And oh, no, there goes the duck. But she knows a lot. She knows the ins and outs of the team. So she's going to be super helpful in kind of breaking down, what the thinking is going into these rounds, and even for map picks, like you were just saying.
Yeah, no. I'm excited. We've gone through a lot of plays recently. We've been practicing a lot and scrimming, and Haven has definitely been one of the maps that we're pretty good on. We're pretty strong on, especially our attack. So I'm glad we're starting on attack. Yeah, I'm really excited. Here are our players.
Yeah, and this is actually this team's first time in the studio. We have had another GC team come in, but that has been our premier roster. So this is the first time Academy has been here, so I know they must be excited. Have you heard anything, you know, in your team group chats or anything about any excitement, any feelings coming into the studio today?
This was actually kind of last minute. Like, we had no idea that we were going to play in the studio, so I'm really proud of them just like showing up and being here. I know some of them are commuters, so it's pretty awesome. Like, that already shows you their dedication to the team. Nothing too crazy. I think we're just excited in general.
And you're saying that this team's attack particularly is strong. What makes their attack so strong?
Well, I don't know if you guys watched our pregame show, but we mentioned how Grace is just a duelist. She's like the embodiment of a duelist. She has an amazing KD, amazing average damage per round, like just everything all around. I think just having a good duelist on attack is just in general an awesome thing to have. Of course, the whole team supports that, of course, especially our initiator. Sometimes we run double init, which kind of helps us to like attack and get onto site easier, allowing like Grace to be able to do her part. So attack has always been something we're good at. Defense
They struggle on defense a little bit more, you think?
We've been working a lot though, so I'm expecting amazing things today.
And we're about to head right into Agent Select, and I'm sure you're going to have a lot of insight into who everyone is going to be picking here. Grace already hovering some pretty interesting duelists, but going to go for the more safe pick of Jet.
Yeah, so we have Iveson, Omen, great pick. I love Omen on this map. The blind is just so useful with all the little corners of Haven. We have Lynn on Info Initiator, which means we're just gathering info with Sova. We have, like I said, double Initiator, Toxic on Breach, which I'm so excited for. I think this is a great pick. And Gojo on Killjoy Classic, of course.
Yeah, one thing I worry about looking at the other agent composition is just the Cypher, because I know how annoying a Cypher can be to counter, especially on attack on Haven when you're looking to take C long.
Yeah.
So that's something UMD's going to have to, figure out how to counter that setup.
Yeah, I do see right off the bat, I mean, we have Sova and Breach for that counter. We can use the Aftershock of Breach and the Shock Darts of our Sova Lin. So I think we can definitely manage around the Cypher, especially knowing that our attack is so well and good.
And I also see we have an Omen for our smoke pick, which, like you said, sounds pretty typical for this team.
Yeah.
And I do think Omen's probably the strongest smoke you can pick on this map.
Yeah, for sure.
So for the most part, the comps are looking similar, with the exception of the Cypher being swapped out for KJ.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll get into the game. We're going into round one. Round one, I think we'll be seeing a push, just because we have that double initiator. We have so much support into getting onto site. What do you think?
Yeah, honestly, I would love to see an A hit possibly, because knowing that there's a Cypher on the other side trying to avoid C, which is where that Cypher is already sitting, would be probably wise. Honestly send one of your initiators mid. Honestly, might be a good play for UMD, but ultimately I do think they're going to want Grace to be that entry. So following right behind her is probably what their best bet.
Yeah, so it looks like they're going mid. We have Toxic being aggressive here on B main, aftershocking a Link, which is causing Breach on the other team to playing retake.
And a trade comes through for either side, but Grace trying to make way on site gets taken down along with Ivesenia. Now it's just Linify, the only person left on site with Bomb, gonna rotate back to safety to meet up with Gojo and try to hit a C long execute where the defenders have been drawn off of. So C is pretty much free reign for the Terps. They're gonna be able to get Bomb down, but they're gonna have to play this retake, which is going to be difficult in a numbers down situation, but Gojo should have the KG utility to kind of make this a little bit easier, and with that information from the Sova Dart, it's certainly going to help as they double swing into Garage. Works out for them to get things started. Gojo finding that pick Garage, but this Omen is just creeping up backside, being super quiet, going to swing into Lin any second now, finds the pick on Lin, and yeah, like you said, just timing on both of them.
Yeah, I think that kill on Cypher was really good and big for us. I mean, we got plant down. That's a great first round. Once we knew that the Cypher was gone, we saw Gojo run onto site and quickly plant with Linify on Sova. So I think it's good that we got that plant and that pick on Cypher. I think that's good info, knowing that Cypher is playing C. Yeah. So we're going to save here. We have 2 Outlaws on the other team. Jet watching A long, and we have Breach watching mid with an Outlaw.
It does look like that Outlaw sitting A long is going to be met with some Terps attackers, but that Aftershock it comes in huge for the Terps, although reswing might be in order, and it pays off, takes down Grace, who is, like we said, our entering duelist, so now it's going to be super hard for UMD to take site, and they're backing up and reconsidering where they want to hit.
Yeah, I think because we're saving, we're definitely going to be staying together. We have Ives still getting some info on whether or not they are rotating. Looks like we're doing a fast rotate to Garage. Cypher does have a setup here. We're droning in. We're trying to get our info. We definitely see Cypher setup, but we don't see Cypher.
Yeah, Cypher certainly sees Gojo with that.
That's good Aftershock there. Pushing off the Cypher, letting them to take Garage completely.
You know, the Terps have swung out onto Seaside. Gojo gets traded, but regardless, the Terps just have not been able to make much room here on C. They're going to get flanked, though, by the Cypher, who dropped down into Garage from behind. And Ives, what a lurk here, but nowhere near Spike, and it's going to be super difficult to get back there.
Yeah, hopefully Ives can just get, like, maybe a pick here, a pick or two, just to get rid of their guns and ruin their eco a little bit. That's kind of the only option they have right now. Looks like they're going to lurk into Garage, maybe, or CT. We right now don't have much info on where they are. We know that they were a lot Garage, but they could be pushed up anywhere at this point for all Ives knows. Okay, unfortunately we do not get a gun, but it's okay.
Yeah, like you said, that was a save round. So now UMD should be able to buy up here and form a bit of a stronger attack, but they've still got to figure out how to counter these Outlaws because both of them are still in play.
Yeah, I do see the Outlaws still there. Looks like we have all full guns, all full util. I see a default here. I see Ives on C, Gojo up on Garage, and Spike is outside of window. So I'm definitely thinking they're gonna do a pick off here. Just gathering some info.
Yeah, Lin might be the first to peek out into this Outlaw, but for the most part, the Terps are playing pretty passively, waiting for those peeks to come in before committing anywhere. Probably just looking to see where they do end up getting a pick and trying to locate where these Outlaws and these bigger weapons are in play. No one really looking down C long, though, yet, so I don't think anyone has really spotted any of the defenders at this moment.
Yeah, no, the defenders are doing a good job of not being aggressive here and just holding their site, which causes us to need to regroup and push the site eventually, which looks like we're going to hit A here. We have a lot of util still. Yeah, Breach recharged and stunned A long, which caused Jet to push back onto site. And looks like we have Grace rushing here on A long with, I'm not sure what that is, droning in. We have sight here. Beautiful pick by Grace down on CT.
30 seconds left.
Toxic with another kill on Omen that loses their smokes.
Spike planted.
Yeah, this is a great round so far for UMD. They have sight, but they've got to watch heaven because that's where this outlaw is. Almost found 2 Terps there. It certainly did a lot of damage to Toxic. So now UMD forced to play more passively, wait for those peaks to come through.
Yeah. We have 2 people really, really low. We have Grace and Toxic both very low, but Grace still gets a pick here.
Yeah, and Grace just got double swung as she was sitting in hell. But regardless, UMD just has the numbers to make it work. And that was a great round from them. I could tell there was a lot of thinking going into that. They really stood super passively until they got any information.
Yeah, I think the commitment to one site really threw the enemy team off, which we haven't really seen yet. We've seen us go C, we've seen us go garage, window, A-link, but we haven't seen a full push yet. So I think that threw the other team off, and yeah, I think we might just run it again. Yeah, looks like we're just gonna grab that info, if any, and then we'll just push together. That's what I think will happen.
And Toxic's gonna send a shock towards A, but it doesn't look like UMD's taking any space off of that yet. It just looks like it was more so to throw off that Jet who's holding that angle. But UMD, once again, not playing aggressively. They haven't really hit C off rip yet, which I think would be pretty interesting because I think Cypher's spreading out their setup more and to not just hold C through long. So that could be a potential play call later, but this time it looks like the Terps are going to head through garage where they're going to have to work through a little bit of Cypher utility and watch out for the swing that's going to come long.
Yeah, we have their Sofa blinded, and we are already onto site with Linify with using all their util. They want to retake here. They're going to drone in, which is a little early considering their team isn't there yet. Looks like he's going to hold off on that drone. Gojo getting picked off by Cypher. Looks like they're going to rush in now, trying to pick together, playing together. But Toxic comes in, killing Sova. Grace with 2 kills. It's a 1v1 now, both low. Grace very low. Very low. And unfortunately does not get to win this round.
Yeah, and that was a great shot by the Jet. You know, Grace just such low HP, 2 HP. There's not much you can do there. But
yeah, it was hard. Yeah, I think good round overall. We got almost all their guns, just 1 gun out there. So I'm interested to see the eco for this round and just what guns we have, what guns they have.
And I would really still like to see a C hit from UMD because look at how wide Cypher is spreading out their utility. I think if there's just a trip in their way, it shouldn't be much of an issue. The problem more so is going to be that Sova who's sending a dart from C every round. But still, I feel like that would be a play call definitely later to consider for UMD, as this time it does look like they're taking a lot of space mid. Only this breach is going to be B with a Sheriff to defend it, so hopefully UMD takes some space off of this.
Yeah, I think this is a great call because we do have short range guns and B is basically the short range gun site. But looks like we're going to fall off here considering the breach has used their util and maybe that someone has rotated over. Considering pushing garage here with breach util. Ooh, unfortunately the Sova gets Linify with their shock dart. Cypher knows a lot right now. Knows that 2 of us are in garage. Oh, Toxic with 2 kills on the breach and Cypher. Omen unfortunately trading off and killing Toxic on breach.
Yeah, Toxic keeps the Terps in this thing, but it's all up to Gojo now. In a 1v2, I don't think they know where she is because nobody's watching behind them, especially this Omen, looking out into grass, but instead actually Gojo comes up right behind the Cypher, going to be able to grab Spike and probably run to C to get this plant down and just hold an aggressive angle.
Yeah, Gojo has all of her util and has already cleared C, so she's able to just plant right here. But yeah, it's interesting because she has all her util, so she really does not have to play too aggressively. We already now know that there's an op in garage. Like I said, she's using all her util. Wow, and an amazing kill by Gojo against the op on the Jet, which is so big. I mean, an op is so expensive, so just getting rid of that op. really good by Gojo.
Yeah, that's an important pick there, especially since that Jet was being aggressive with their operator. Kind of left Gojo with no other choice but to match that aggression and take down that operator. However, it is repurchased with light shields, mind you, but repurchased nonetheless.
Right. Yeah, it looks like the enemy team does have not the best buy. I mean, we have a Bulldog, 2 Bulldogs, we have some light shields going on, so we have the gun advantage here other than the op, so hopefully we'll see something good happen here.
Oh, but the Terps walk right into the operator, takes down Toxic, and now they have a decision to make if they want to aggressively try to take down this operator or rotate. It looks like they will choose the latter as they take more space into window, but it does look like it's going to be a full rotate towards C site, because that is where the spike is heading. Sova has that information, but Gojo probably going to use her ultimate to take some space and really secure this bomb plant. And UMD has 3 ultimates to work with at this point.
Yeah, this is really good. I like this, especially now that they're all rotating over to C, and if Gojo uses her ult now, it could be very beneficial. Let's see if Grace gets this pick on people for rotating through CT. Oh, amazing molly by Gojo with the pushing them off of CT. Gets them really low there with Ives being able to kill them.
Yeah, I'm not sure that UMD even really has to spend any ultimates this round. Maybe if by somehow we're down to a 1v1, having a Sova ultimate super helpful for post plant, but I don't think UMD is really going to need it. And instead it does look like it's just going to be a save from the other side for the most part.
Yeah, like I said earlier, they were only working with half shields. An op is a really expensive gun, and it can be very beneficial on Haven for defense. So I do think that the right call for Jet is to save that op. And it looks like we're not going to go for that kill, especially because our eco isn't the best right now. So, good round by UMD Academy.
I got your back.
I like that. You kept mentioning how they should go C because there's not that much Cypher util. I'm wondering if the Cypher will start putting it on a little bit more heavier there. On to C.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, and it does look like UMD gonna keep peeking A long, knowing that this operator is there. If they're able to find that pick early, it's gonna pay off huge for them, but it's a matter of not letting the operator speak first and finding that pick, especially if it's Grace, who pretty much is the backbone of their attack.
Yeah, I think Grace walking out there alone might have been a little bit difficult before a flash or something. We could have probably timed our util a little bit better before peeking long, but I think that will be a lesson learned for the next round or rounds to come. We have the enemy breach getting a pick on Gojo and Linify, which is not ideal, especially because we did have gun advantage. Ives is watching flank, which is useful because there is someone on flank. Let's see if they are patient enough to hold that, because right now we have a back towards CT, or flank.
Yeah, and I was just in a pinch there. Super hard to come out of a 1v5 like that. But that round just really fell apart for UMD as soon as they allowed that operator to get 2 picks to start off that round. And that Sheriff in from Sewers, it was just great shots from the other side, of course. But that operator just proving to be so deadly.
It's hurtful for us, which is why I think we're all bunched up towards C long now in Garage. I think we've had enough with the op. But I do think if we were to ever counter the op, maybe we should apply a little bit more util before peeking out, before truly peeking out long. But we have 2 people, or we have Sova holding C, just like we've seen before. Darting, it looks like we avoid the dart, so we have no info from the other team where they could be right now. We have a few people pushing into Garage, which Cypher is very aware of, and gets a pick with his trip on Toxic, our initiator breach. Sova's going to drone out here long just for some more info. Grace is able to trade Toxic and gets rid of the Cypher, which is really good for everyone who's pushing long right now, because they don't need to deal with that Cypher trip.
Spike down.
Yeah, but what's not good for pushing long is Linify getting picked off with the spike, and now UMD is at a slight numbers disadvantage, not for long though, because Grace is going to find a great pick from CT there. Gojo trying to meet up with the rest of her team through garage, finds a pick to make it happen and takes space into garage. Gonna use her ultimate here, but gotta watch out from right behind her, and this ultimate can get taken down, and that's exactly what happens, down to a 1v1 with Ives and the Jet, who's top fragging on the other side for the defenders, and a great job from Ives getting that shot and the fake TP.
Right, that was a great fake. I also think just like Ives, I don't know if you guys know this, but Ives has incredible aim and incredible flicks, as you just saw. So honestly, had no doubt they were going to win that round. There's a little replay of Ives's gameplay.
Yeah, the fake TP comes in, and then you have no other option but to get that pick there, because that Jet was just pushing out.
Yeah, I do think the Jet heard that it was a fake TP. Oh, we still have the up watching long. I think UMD will play their cards a little bit better in terms of their util before peeking out long. Just as you've seen, as soon as Breach stunned, we pushed out. Looks like we're going to commit to this push. Possibly, but we are using our ultimate. I love this ultimate. Gets 3 here. But it unfortunately also gets Grace.
And finally, the operator gets taken down while in hell, and now Grace has occupied that space. UMD got to be aware of 2 places, Heaven and this flank, because the Sova could easily come up right behind Ives.
We have Alex on a Odin on the enemy team. Gaining info with its camera, but Sova coming up flank, getting Grace. Gojo does have 1 Molly.
My eyes are down.
Oh, they've got to play this wisely, because it's against an Odin powerful weapon. It's a 2v1, but still, you never know against an Odin. And they did play that super well as the flash comes in to help out Gojo find that last pick.
That was a great play by Gojo and Ives. I think that was very well timed by them. Yeah, good round. So this leads UMD to be 5 rounds, and the defending team to have 4 rounds. So we are 1 round up, and we do have really good guns here, full guns, full shields, full util. So I'm expecting good things this round.
Yeah, and look at the Jet. The Jet on the other side has 14 kills, which is the most of the lobby. So honestly, they've been pretty. The UMD's been pretty just confident at pushing them, but still, that's obviously someone who you got to be watching out for if you're UMD. This time it looks like they're going to do their trusted A execute. This time Grace going to pull out the knives and try to make an entry happen.
Yeah, we do have the Cypher util to work with here, which pays off for the enemy team as they get a pick off of Grace, our leading duelist. We have Toxic taking care of CT here. Ives being able to kill that Breach, but unfortunately gets traded off twice by their Omen. Cypher has no gun right now, just a pistol, and has already dropped down to help its team. It is currently a 2v2. We have 1 Molly for bomb. Ives and Gojo, we've seen this last round. I think they'll play well together here. They have to.
1 enemy remaining.
Oh, through the smoke.
Yeah, what a push.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, what a push from that Cypher. I'm not sure if they were blinded or not. I'm not sure if they were blinded or if there's in the smoke or what was going on.
Yeah, I think it might have just been them in the... I think they were blinded and in the smoke. I'm not sure. But that was interesting. They decided to push the site, and Cypher fully set up on A. Everything was on A, so that was a little bit difficult to just get right in. You know, Cypher was able to get a pick right off the bat on Grace, so that was difficult for us.
This should do.
So we have the Jet on the enemy team back on the operator, but this time holding C long, which we haven't seen yet. This might throw off UMD, but it looks like we're just playing default here, gaining some info.
Yeah, and Gojo's looking like she's the closest to peek into this operator, but The rest of the team's going to scale towards C site and through garage, where the Sova spotted Grace, and who's also going to spot Grace is this Jet who's on top of boxes. Misses the first off shot. Grace, now knowing that operator's there, probably not going to repeat that angle anytime soon, and is kind of forced to just tuck away into garage because of the breach utility. But regardless, able to find that pick, and now UMD can choose to rush onto C site or rotate back towards B, which it looks like that's what they might be doing.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely rotate if I were them, knowing that both Sova and Jet are holding C. Right now, it's a little bit hard for them to push in with the operator and with Sova. So looks like we actually scaled up A. There is Cypher trips we immediately break. There are 2. Cypher was not able to get a pick off of that, just leaving A alone. Knows that Gojo is hiding here in short, A short. It looks like it's just going to be a full retake from the enemy team. And it looks like we're just going to play a little bit more calm here, just playing spike rather than holding those aggressive angles.
Yeah, and I like that we're being more aggressive, because I think we've really failed on our retakes when we start to peek into things that we don't need to peek into. So just playing bomb here, not swinging any angles alone, that's exactly what you want to do.
I mean, Gojo heard Jet fully push her and still did not peek. I think that was great. Fortunately, though, they do push UMD and gets a few picks here. We know Gojo knows that they're on the bomb, tries to peek, and unfortunately does not get to retake that bomb.
What a retake, though. That was a pretty insane retake.
Yeah, I think the enemy team did push together, so they were able to swing each person together, which was just hard on UMD. So we do have a timeout by our coach Dusty. Overall, what do you think right now?
Well, I was going to ask, what do you think Dusty's telling the team? I know, as someone who gets coached from Dusty, as a player, what kind of method does he go through in his coaching during these timeouts?
Dusty, our coach, typically points out what the enemy team is doing and what they're not doing. We might be analyzing right now where they're playing and what we're peaking. I do think he is going to talk about the util usage. I think a lot of these rounds could have been won with the help of like 2 people using their util together. For example, that the Ives and Gojo play where Ives threw out their blind and Gojo was able to peek right off of that. That was a really good play. I think he's going to tell us to buddy up a little bit more, because it seems like the enemy team is doing that to us, which is harmful if we're just playing alone. It's a 2v1, which obviously means that they're going to get the pick off of us. So I do think we're going to be buddying up a little bit more here. Yeah, as you can see, we already have... we're doing a C push here. Probably recognizing that Cypher is playing A now, and rotating over to C.
Yeah, and we're going to have to work around this Cypher utility. Dart already was shot by UMD, so the alarm bells are certainly sounding on the defense side. And because of those rotates probably being drawn towards that side, UMD is going to pull the fast scale towards A, where this breach is the only player who's anywhere near here playing really aggressive. But Ives TP back site and gets that pick on that Cypher that peeks out into them. So that's all the Cypher utility taken out of the equation, which is huge for UMD, because that's been honestly probably their biggest issue with A in the past couple rounds. Gotta work around this KJ ultimate, though. And don't think they're going to be able to get in position to shoot it, so it's a matter of getting out of range.
Yeah, and just waiting it out here. Yeah, I wonder, what do you think? Would you use that KJ ult a little bit later, just because their retake is a little bit aggressive?
Yeah, I definitely would, because like you said, they've been pulling a really aggressive retake, so to wait until that spike starts ticking a little bit more is going to be better in the long run, I think.
Yeah, looks like they're doing exactly that, just rushing into sight, pushing those angles. But gladly so, we are able to retake, and Gojo with the final kill there with a molly, using her util for post plant. Smiles.
And this is a really even matchup. I believe we're at 6-6 heading into the second half, where UMD is going to be on the defense. But things have been super even. It's been a super competitive game.
Right. Yeah, I'm excited to see them on defense here because, we've been practicing a lot, especially on Haven. So we have Ives here on C. We have Gojo also playing C. We have Breach up in Garage. And we have Jet in short. And I believe that is Sova probably going to just early dart that A lobby. For info, and it looks like the enemy team is going to be scaling up C here, which is on Gojo's Senti KJ setup site.
It will be a C execute, and UMD gonna have to respond. Ives, I'm sure, is making all the call outs as they just get triple swinged essentially back sight. So now UMD has lost site control and are forced to pull off a retake. Looks like we could potentially have a flank cooking, but gonna have to be aware of that Sova, who has eyes on that flank, holding a bit of a rat corner, in C lobby there.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really, really fast take by the enemy team here. So we have Gojo getting 1 kill, and unfortunately our flank gets cut off, but we still have Grace on that flank, and unfortunately also gets cut off there.
1 enemy remaining.
So we have Grand Panda on the enemy team cleaning it up with Toxic. Yeah, that was a really fast push. Very, very fast. They were almost onto site instantly.
Yeah, and we only had Ives on site, so as soon as they were able to take down Ives, they had site completely to themselves, and the flank didn't work out for us either. So at that point, there's not many options left. And this Jet Grand Panda has been such an issue for UMD. I believe they're still top fragging, and they've been really what's taken UMD just out of these retakes, because as soon as you get 1 or 2 picks that go against you, it's really hard to play numbers at that point.
Wow, we have a defensive, an aggressive play here by our defense. We did save, so might as well just push together, see if we can get a pick and get their guns. We have an outlaw on the enemy breach, and unfortunately gets 2 of us. They do get plant down on A. It's just a matter of if we can get a gun possibly. And unfortunately we cannot. It's a clean sweep by the enemy team.
Yeah, that was a quick round, but also keep in mind that UMD was up against a bye with only pretty much classics in hand. So this is the round that UMD should be able to buy up those Vandals, those full shields. But it looks like on the other side, there's also a decent buy as well.
Yeah, I like that play by UMD. I think they should have been aggressive. They were playing together. I think it's going to help them realize that they really do need to play off of each other. But yeah, it looks like a C push. I'm wondering if it's going to be as fast. It looks like Gojo and Ives here are going to hold a cross. It does seem quite fast, but they do get info on Ives, which unfortunately leads to them getting, for Ives to be picked off. It looks like Gojo's going to play a little bit of retake here because holding a site by yourself is not easy.
Oh, poor Ives. That's happened almost twice in a row. And, I think UMD needs to put, we had 2-3 people there, but just more aggression because Ives has just been kind of left on that site alone a couple times. So that's certainly something UMD might want to look into if these C pushes continue to be as aggressive as they have been. And now they're pretty much just giving up site.
Yeah, looks like the enemy team is going to be putting a lot of util into here, just really keeping UMD out of the loop. We have Grace here on another flank. It's a quick flank because, Spike is already planted, and our team is just, waiting for Grace so we can possibly do a crunch or a pinch here.
Yeah, Grace going to be looking in from Garage, gets taken down though by Grand Panda. Linify also soon to follow, and the rest comes crumbling down.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like because they're pushing C so fast, it might be worth to just either play backside with each other and play off of KJ util compared to those corners, because it's just going to be hard to get out if you're left alone there. If you're just left in a corner, that's hard to get out versus 5 people. It's not going to work out. So I think either playing backside, retake, or just playing off of that KJ util will really help our team to do well on defending C.
And it's hard when UMD does not have any Cypher utility. Like you said, we only have KJ to work off of for our Sentinel, and you know, I think Cypher probably is a more annoying pick to go up against on attack.
It takes away util from the other team. Like, you have to put in util to break those trips. So yeah, Cypher's a good pick for SNT here.
And I think we're in the next round. Maybe a little, yeah, here we are into the next round, where UMD is just at a slight numbers disadvantage, but they have lost control of site. Oh, Grace is just getting attacked from heaven, just such little HP, 13 to work with at this point, only as a Marshall, so she's gonna, just really doesn't have a choice but to kind of peek out and find a pick here.
Oh, and unfortunately gets picked off by the Jet. Looks like they're just going to spray down CT. It seems like they have some sort of info that they're there. I mean, yeah, we have a big numbers disadvantage here. It's a 1v3. Ive's just having a ghost, whereas the enemy team has full guns here. Yeah, I think just, again, getting a gun here would be huge. But unfortunately, it does not work out. And the enemy Jet, once again, cleans up a round.
And you called it that UMD is a lot stronger on attack, but what do you think they could be doing better in this defense? Like when you're on this team, when you're playing, is there anything you guys, like what do you guys usually do in terms of your tactics on defense if things don't work out for you?
Normally, if we haven't won a single round in a few rounds at this point, we would do something a little bit off-brand, such as, you know, stacking a site, or like if they don't rush that site that we're stacking, we do like a full flank, because I mean, who's expecting a 5-man full flank? And normally we'll do that on a save round just because it's not as, you know, risky as like having like real guns. So just something a little bit off-brand to kind of reset our thinking process, and like sometimes we can figure out something completely new that they're doing, like, you know, if KJ or if their Cypher's not watching flank and is lurking, compared to like Sova maybe watching flank instead. Just like new info in general will help us out. But in general, I do think that we need to either play, you know, retake or play off of util here. I think that's the only way we're going to be able to defend our sites.
I would kind of love to see a 5-person flank. I think that would be interesting to watch.
It would be fun. I mean, not unfortunately, but we do have guns here, so I don't think we're going to be doing that. We have Grace on op, no shield. Interesting. She looks like she's going to be holding A long here. Breach stuns. She is stunned here, but they don't really push off of that stun very fast, so it seems like she's going to re-peek this. But they're not going to push A long here.
Yeah, she did fire a shot, but regardless, able to fire another one, this time connecting to Grand Panda, which is a huge pick to get things started. Toxic, though, gets taken down as she's trying to hold down B site. So it does look like B is going to be lost if you're UMD, and now you got to work out a retake. It looks like they're going to do a 2-2 split from A-Link and C-Link. But Ives and Gojo and Lin all get taken down right in sequence, leaving only Grace with an operator whose best bet is probably to save.
Right, yeah, we're going to have to save this op. This is a huge purchase, and I think it will be really beneficial. So Grace trying to get that pick, but they're going to rush her right here. Unfortunately, gets killed off, and we lose the op here. Honestly, I think B is just a really hard site to retake. I mean, it's very like closed off. There's 3 entrances, and we were all in different parts here entering, which again, we don't see a buddy gameplay when that happens. If we get picked off, there's no way to trade. So unfortunately, we couldn't win that round. But looks like the enemy team here is going to go C, perhaps. We don't have any KJ util. Looks like we're stacking towards A. It is our save, so we might see a flank this round, which will be really interesting.
And it looks like we will, because look at Gojo, Grace, and Lynn's positioning grouped together. Running it down on the flank. I hope they continue to run it down and meet them behind C-Long. But yet again, poor Ives, just the only person on C-site about to get full rushed.
Yeah, well, this is hard for Ives. I would have, popped a flash or something, maybe to just hold them off a little bit and give our time to flank. But looks like we're going to go through Garage here. Currently a 4v5. We are on a save here.
And looks like we're going to do a 4-person garage push, but that spam through the Cypher cage just so deadly. Grace gets taken down as she tries to retake in from CT, making things increasingly difficult for UMD, down to a 2v5, make that a 1v5. So now Gojo might just try to find a eco frag here, die for economy's sake, but that is going to push this game to match point.
Yeah, I think, something that's a little bit difficult, at least for last round, was we were flanking, but Ives was still on site. I think a good play would have been just to push a little bit back, wait for our flank to arrive, even if they're already on site, and then possibly crunch them there. I think losing our smokes early on is a little bit difficult to just retake in general. I mean, no smokes is hard to work with, but we're going to move on to the next round. We do have guns this round. So hopefully we can do good here. We have 2 people up on A. Grace is being a little bit more aggressive here, waiting for that stun. Unfortunately, not getting that pick on the breach.
Well, it looks like Breach is going to use their ultimate to take A side, and it's going to work out beautifully because UMD is just forced to back up, but Ives finds a pick into mid. Taking down that Cypher is going to be super important for post plant. Lynn's going to use her Cypher ultimate. Does not find a pick, but did a little bit of damage to the Omen.
Yeah, I think she got a good amount of info there with the Omen up on generator. Toxic using her aftershock just to clear that graffiti spot. Unfortunately, the Sova is ulting, kind of pushing us back, especially because we're all CT. Jet being able to pick off our Heaven drop. This is a really good ult by Gojo, especially with the time on the bomb. Oh, unfortunately, we do get picked off by Jet, and that will lead the enemy team, Embry, to win the game, first game.
It was a really competitive game up until the half when UMD transitioned on to defense, and I guess like you were expecting that UMD might struggle more on the defense, but to struggle that much is not looking good for the Terps.
Yeah, I mean, defense has been pretty difficult for us. I just think that we need to do a little bit better with the whole playing off of each other and being a little bit more patient when they push. Just because they're pushing and rushing onto site doesn't mean we have to fight immediately and fight for site, because it hasn't really been working. So hopefully this next game we'll see a little bit more patience on defense. We are attacking again, which is really exciting. I don't remember the map. Do you remember?
Ascent.
Yes, we're attacking on Ascent. So we get a fresh new start. We have also been practicing Ascent. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, we'll catch you guys after a quick commercial break to catch the second game.
Terp Adventures. Take flight at Stamp. Host to countless Maryland events, programs, performances, and more. Feed your body. Feed your mind. Feed your soul. Let your talents soar. Dance. Sing. Perform. Find your thing. Join more than 800 student organizations and clubs. Find community here. Leadership lives here. Art thrives here. With space to grow. We're all just kids at heart. Let your imagination fly. Compete, play, with wings on our feet. Here, your spirit can fly. Here, your soul lifts up. Here, you remember those who came before. This is STAM. This is the Center for Campus Life, where Terp adventures take flight. You belong here. Come fly with us.
I think by the end of the season, like now, we play together, everyone kind of jokes around a little bit more and kind of shines their natural ray. We're excited just to see them play better as well.
With the middle school program, the best part has been seeing the moments of teamwork where the middle schoolers really seem to get the game, and so that's when you can see they're starting to get a little bit hooked on how esports can be so fun.
Off game, or will Red turn things around?
Your ad tech stack is simple, streamlined, and easy to manage, right? Yeah, right. If you're an ad tech, then you know you have a problem. Ad tech is messy, and your tech stack includes way too many tools to effectively manage. At Playwire, we're here to uncomplicate your ad tech stack. We've consolidated the entire publisher ad tech stack into a single platform and added in proprietary technology and advanced tools to generate you even higher CPMs. Get access to an ad tech stack that is simpler and smarter.
And I think by the end of the season, like now, we play together. Everyone kind of jokes around a little bit more and kind of shines their natural ray. We're excited just to see them play better as well.
With the middle school program, the best part has been seeing the moments of teamwork where the middle schoolers really seem to get the game, and so that's when you can see they're starting to get a little bit hooked on how esports can be so fun.
Walk game, or will Red turn things around?
Terp Adventures take flight at STAM. Host to countless Maryland events, programs, performances, and more. Feed your body, feed your mind, feed your soul. Let your talents soar. Dance, sing, perform. Find your thing. Join more than 800 student organizations and clubs. Find community here. Leadership lives here. Art thrives here. With space to grow. We're all just kids at heart. Let your imagination fly. Compete, play, with wings on our feet. Here your spirit can fly. Here your soul lifts up. Here you remember those who came before. This is STAM. This is the center for campus life, where Terp Adventures take flight. You belong here. Come fly with us.
Welcome back, everybody. We just finished our game 1 where Embry-Riddle University had won the match. It was a Haven match, and now we are going into Ascent, where UMD is attacking first.
Yeah, and during that little time, obviously you're very close with the team. So as you were going up to the team, what were they saying? What was Coach Dusty saying? What do you think needs to change heading into the map 2?
Like I was saying earlier with our defense, we were talking about just playing that retake. We don't have to be aggressive. Like, we don't have to always fight site, especially if it's like a very, very fast attacking team. Like, we can be patient with that and just play together and play retake together. We also talked about that crunch with, like, if we do flank, maybe just play a little bit more back onto site so we can end up crunching them. We, refined a few things, asked a few questions about what we could have done in this situation. But I think we have a much better, understanding of how this team plays, and hopefully we can do bounce back on the second map. So we're playing Ascent. Let's go into our agent pick here.
Okay, looks like Lynn, Grace, and Ives are going to go for the same agents that we did see them play on Haven. Make that Gojo as well. The only difference we might see is Toxic on KO, because this is a great map for KO.
Yeah, I see KO here on both teams, which, again, like you said, it's a great map for KO. I'm interested to see what the enemy team is going to pick. I mean, it looks like they're hovering every agent. ISO, Chamber. Yeah, I'm not sure what they're going to do there, but I think Jet is a great pick on Ascent as well, especially with AWP. I mean, we did see their Jet on an AWP almost every round on defense, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that again here on Ascent.
Yes, and let's take a moment to appreciate our coach's cam. Little graphic there. Coach Dusty giving some final words of wisdom before the Terps head into Ascent map 2. Again, they have to win this map if they want any chance of winning the series, because it is a best of 3. So pretty normal comp, on both sides as it looks so far. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Like you said, I know we were hovering a bit. There's some strange agents there, but pretty much a mirror comp with the exception of, they're opting for that Cypher again, which really was super helpful. It really worked out in their favor. So I'm not surprised at all that they're reaching for that Cypher pick again. This is another great map for Cypher, especially on defense. With that setup that can happen, onto B site with the one-way outside a garage, and there's also just a lot of room on A. There's a lot of good trip angles there. So that's something UMD has got to work around as they head into their attack. And or this map is in general on both sides is all about mid control. So really, whoever gets mid is pretty much setting the pace for the rest of everybody else in the lobby. So mid control, super big deal. It would be interesting to see if UMD is going to opt for mid control or more so place their focus on sites and getting that bomb down.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, if maybe they might do a split and use the Omen util to try and hop into A. But yeah, it does actually look like a split here with Gojo lurking on B just to maybe get some info or something. We have Grace pushing up on Cat maybe. And the enemy Jet is holding tiles. So the enemy team does get a little bit of info here of we have, pushing up on mid. We end up getting a kill here with Gojo on the KO, which is really helpful for us.
Goodbye. Spike down A. Cage triggered.
And now it looks like UMD has made their way onto A site. They haven't got bomb planted though because they've lost a fair number of people on the way there. But Grace and Toxic respond in tree, and they're not done. They're trying to take more tree space. Toxic does get taken down. They gotta be aware of this Sova though, who could be flanking right behind Gojo. And Gojo gets taken down by that Sova, and now they have bomb control, and it's up to Grace to get that bomb and plant it, or just find the pick before any of that needs to happen in the first place. But regardless, down to a 1v1.
Yeah, I think, losing the bomb there is going to be really difficult.
30 seconds left.
For some reason here, Sova is going back and holding mid. This might give Grace an opportunity to grab that spike, which she does. She wants to try and get this pick. Or not.
She would have been in great positioning there to just hold that and get that pick, but instead looks like she's going to opt to plant and push his door down. Now has all the information about this Sova's positioning. Sova going to break door, try to rush as Grace plants the spike. She pops out after planting it, just weaving behind those boxes there.
Sova missing that dart, not getting any info where she is, but unfortunately a shock dart is applied on her and she's not able to get that kill off. That was really close there. It's crazy timing towards the end.
Yeah, it was good timing after Grace was able to pick up that bomb, but just knowing that, or not seeing that Sova, I would have loved to see her just hold that aggressive angle off of top mid, because Sova has no choice but to walk right through her crosshair, but instead she opts to play a bit more safe and plant the bomb in the end, putting it at a more of an even 1v1 and not coming out on the other end of that one. So the Terps do lose the first round on attack.
Yeah, I think after she planted there, it's just really hard to find a good space for her to hold. Just playing dice, kind of trying to avoid him. But Grace here is pushing up A long, and the KO scans her and a few other teammates here on A. We know Gojo is tiles from the enemy team, and unfortunately we get our Senti lurk picked off. Cypher's here set up, and now we have info on that. Sova is flanking again. Interesting.
Yeah, and they're doing it super fast. Gonna be forced to walk as they start to approach, but UMD's backing up right into them. They gotta check that before Sova gets these picks, and Sova gets traded ultimately, but not without finding a pick first.
Yeah, I mean, immediately when the enemy team kills our Senti, Sova almost always immediately pushes flank, because there's nothing watching flank in terms of util. So,
and now just a lot of aggression from the defensive standpoint. Lynn just trying to Ares spam past that box. I think Grace and Lynn definitely know where this KO is just
30
kind of
seconds
hiding.
left.
They're going to probably try to work off some sort of double swing, but no. The double swing doesn't come through, actually, because Grace just tucked behind the boxes, but able to finish it off with a classic in hand, down to a 1v3, but, you know, up against an Aries. I think that's pretty difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a tough round for UMD. I think that Sova flanking is interesting. I mean, they're able to do it because they do have 2 info kind of initiators. I mean, KO is able to use that knife to catch where people are. I mean, KO also can flash, so it makes sense that Sova just like darts B and then just like straight up flanks, especially if they got that pick off of Gojo. So I think they're going to play a little bit more together and safe here. Yeah, it looks like we have more players scaled up towards B. And they might try and avoid this dart, which they are able to do. And a KO knife.
Yeah, 2-3 split from UMD Spike on the side of A, though, which is where the Cypher utility is. B is really looking clear right now. So a rotate would be ideal for UMD, but I don't think they have the information that there's this many players and a Cypher setup on A yet. But maybe once that info comes through, a rotate will be in order, and that is exactly what's going to happen as UMD quickly goes to B site, waiting for the rest of their team to regroup. But they need to take this site fast while there's no defenders there, because sooner rather than later, there's going to start to be some defensive angles being held, as we see from Market.
Yeah, I think that knife there kind of gave away our positioning quite early on. We are almost all blinded here. We're going to be forced to push into site here. Grace trying to hold as best as she can. She knows that 2 people are CT, 1 is Market, and she gets 2 here. Unfortunately, the KO does trade her off. This is our safe, so we're doing really good so far. It's a 3v2. We have the numbers.
Yeah, we do have a setup into lane. Doesn't get popped quite yet, but that KO's only 5 HP, so a Molly would be certainly enough to kill them. But
Enemy remaining, brother.
instead, they're just, you know, clinging on to their couple HP that they have left. And Lin and Gojo just going to play time here, wait for that spike to tick off. And UMD will be able to take this round, but can they find this last remaining Vandal is the question to make the economy even worse for the defensive side.
Yeah, this was a huge round for UMD. Yeah, we're going to get a lot of money from this, and you can see Lynn pretty happy about that round there. I think we played that really, really well. Just having like a little bit of commotion going on A and then like instantly rotating to B. I think they could have taken a little bit more space earlier on, because they did use both of their initiators early on B, and it scanned nobody. So, you know, it might be safe to think that they are scaling a little bit more towards A when that happens. But
Get out of my way!
And now it does look like there is an operator on the defensive side at A, and is also a Cypher setup. So A is going to be definitely the harder site to take. But if UMD plays util, plays numbers, they might be able to do it. Grace pops her jet knives to get things started, and now the defenders are taking more of a passive approach to A site, with the only person on site being the Cypher. They do have their setup set up, you know, just on to site, and with that dart, UMB is gonna sound the alarm bells that there's a lot of people on this site, and that is going to kind of encourage a rotate. I would love to see them go mid and find a pick before deciding on a site.
yeah, I think that would be very helpful for them, and I think that's exactly what we're going to see here. Unfortunately, the Omen doesn't peek them and is instead just smoking B, taking care of that entry, making sure they're not, you know, pushing that early on. I was possibly trying to get a pick here in mid. If this Omen peeks out, this could be really big for our team.
30 seconds
Yeah,
left.
killing that Omen would be huge, because that's what is going to cause problems for them in their entry. So Grace will push up aggressively into Market and not quite find that pick with her knives, but that's what Toxic is there for.
Right.
So, but there is an Odin sitting onto B main. UMD gonna have to, you know, use that to their advantage if they're able to pick that up, which they are.
Yeah, we have a really good take here. We have boathouse, and unfortunately the Jet is able to pick off Grace with an operator, but is not, oh, yep, gets blinded by Ives here and is forced to push back a little bit. Good pick by Ives on this Cypher. Now we just have the enemy Jet with just an op and a classic. Honestly, I could see them losing this op, which is good in our favor.
They pulled out the knives. They want to win this round and almost did
Almost
so.
does, yeah.
But Gojo, great shot to deny that round win. And the operator also taken out of the equation unless the Jet has enough money to repurchase, which I don't think, yeah, they don't.
No. But it looks like they're going to save for, oh, never mind. They are buying a Bulldog. Oh, no, that was our Grace. Here's a replay on this kill. I like how, you know, our teammates are playing pretty much together here. Gojo holding Toxic's back there.
So now UMD has evened things out at 2v2, and now it looks like they're going to try to take A. Gojo, though, making noise. B-side going to draw in some utility, and we see Ives, who's going to be holding mid.
Yeah, we have Spike down towards A site / mid. So I don't think they're going to 100% commit to site. You know, we're gaining some info here first. The Cypher camp doesn't see Ives at all. They're tucked into towards, I don't know, I guess Link or tiles there, which allows us to sort of scale up. We're taking Cat right now, trying to take A. Grace gets a beautiful pick off of the Omen, which means that their smokes is gone. Their flash is gone.
Oh, and Ives just gets taken down by that flank, or Gojo does, but Ives is still in tree watching this, and now the defensive side's going to be able to pick up some better weapons, but this KO ultimate was just huge for UMD. Able to find 2 picks off of that KO ultimate, and now we're just going to let Spike tick down, and time is in our favor here, so it doesn't really help us to be aggressive at this point. We're more so just try to get information and hold angles based off of that.
Yeah, looks like we're going to hold this together, hopefully. We have 2 people on the enemy team pushing on through the tree, and Toxic is able to get 2 and 3. That collat was really big for us. There's Toxic happy. That was a huge round for Toxic.
Yeah, great aim from Toxic, getting the collat, turning around, looking heaven, finding that closing pick there. Great round, and great round for UMD. We're finally have a round advantage for the first time. We're ahead in this game.
Yeah, we are, and honestly, I think that was really well played. I think the patience is really paying off here, and seeing it in attack. I mean, hey, that means they're probably going to do it on defense too. I think they kind of learned that patience is key, and that's exactly what they're utilizing now. Ooh, this puts away Jet's util, so she's just gonna, you know, guess if they're here on tiles. Looks like we're gonna do a B split of mid and B main. We know one's getting orb, so the Sova unfortunately gets a pick off of Gojo, which might cause another flank to happen, losing our Senti.
Oh, Toxic gets traded by that operator. Operator's still in play though, sitting on market.
One enemy remaining.
And now Grace is in a 1v2 situation. She's about to get double swung here, which is why she can't get both of those pick. Able to find one though, but not the operator.
Yeah, that operator is hard to play against in general. I see the enemy team, you know, playing together a lot, so it's a little bit hard to retake our bomb, let alone like site sometimes. But yeah, overall I think it was a good round. We are in a timeout, so how do you feel right now?
I think UMD just needs to get some momentum to work off of. It just feels like things have been kind of at a slow start for them. They haven't really gone on a run in terms of round wins. I think just I don't know. I think they need to start hitting B more because we've seen a lot of A hits And even if we do manage to get on site, sometimes our post plan isn't the strongest, and working through that Cypher utility, because Cypher is mostly set up on A site, is difficult in the first place. So I'd love to see them take A. I know there's a Sova to work around there usually, but if we can, avoid that Odin spam or Ares spam, whatever gun that may be spamming through B main, and get bomb down onto B, I think B is easier to have a post plan on.
No, I definitely agree. I think most of our success has been on B, maybe one round on A, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we scale up B here. And we did see Ayush, Dusty, the coach, talking to them, and you're completely right. They're going up B here.
Oh, that Cypher utility also changed to be on B site.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting to see if they'll counter that or if they will just rotate right off of it. Looks like they're going mid again. It's a little bit more aggressive as we just droned right into market to get some info. We didn't make it right into market, so we have no idea who's holding that exactly. But we are popping a KJ ult here to try and get this B site.
And Ives just did so much damage to the Cypher, who's sitting market with a Ghost, got a dink off of that, and should be no problem for UMD to clean up the rest. And that's exactly what happens as UMD tries to make way onto B site. They have to work around this Omen, though, who is not budging on site. Still alive, pretty full HP. Spike is down, though, and UMD does not have control of it because this Sova's holding it pretty aggressively using their utility, so Grace just going to have to inch up and grab that spike. But now suddenly Grace finds herself in a 1v3, even though she does have spike. Takes care of the first one, but the operator just comes in to follow through, and probably just a little bit of frustration as she's been in that situation a couple times this game.
Yeah, this operator is pretty hurtful for us. I mean, almost holds something different every game. Rotates pretty quickly, holds their flank. So it seems like every time we get into like a 1v2 situation or 1v3 at the end, it's like some sort of pinch or like a triangle between the operator and then some other like Vandal or something. It's just very hard to play against. It's like we almost get instantly traded off and it's difficult.
This time looks like it's gonna be an A hit for UMD. The flash successfully pushes the operator off the angle, and great shot from Grace to take down that operator. Does catch Toxic on the back end of it though, so UMD did lose one of their initiators here. Now they're gonna have to rely on Sova utility to kind of make things work for them. But look at Gocho's positioning on B. I wonder if that's an indication of where we're going to see UMD ahead later, and looks like it is as they back off of A site, but the defensive positioning is still there, and it looks like it's going to be an aggressive position that Gocho's going to have to clear this angle to make way onto site.
Yeah, I mean, we already see the Omen instantly rotating pretty much with UMD. UMD trying to take mid space and possibly mark it, but, Omen is kind of holding that. Looks like we're still in mid here. Unfortunately, Omen does get the pick off of Ives in their ult onto site.
And that's Bomb in such an awkward position because now Bomb's on site and UMD has zero control over it. So this round is not looking great. Their only option is to aggressively push Boathouse, which Alinify does a great job of doing now. Bomb is in control of the Terps. They're hopefully gonna be able to plant it, but in a 2v2 it's gonna be kind of difficult to hold, especially with that KO ultimate.
Yeah, they did pick up some guns here. Ooh, KO very low, 11 HP. Hopefully works out in UMD's favor. I mean, if they play together here, it might be a round win for them.
Oh, the HP is so low for everybody who's left alive.
Yep, and just gets cleaned up by Lin. Amazing round by Lin. A good 3K here. Op gets taken down here at the end. I think maybe the KO is trying to save it for Jet or something. But good round for UMD overall.
Yeah, and UMD still in this thing 4-4. So, not kind of the lead we would like to see them have on attack. We would like them to see just gain a little bit of cushioning there, because like you said, sometimes their defense isn't the strongest, but hey, they're still in this thing. They're not losing by any means, and with a good buy in hand, hopefully this round will go in their favor as well.
Yeah, it looks like we have both the Jets on both teams kind of leading that on the top of the scoreboard, as expected. So the KO scans a few UMD players and the KO ults here. But UMD is still able to drone in, understanding where they are onto site. As you know, we know that they're back site, we know one's heaven, but unfortunately KO does get a pick off of Grace, but you know, UMD is able to trade twice after that, leading us to a 4v2 now, with Toxic being able to get rid of their smokes. But unfortunately Grand Panda does get our initiator Toxic out.
And I really do like UMD's passive positioning here, waiting for bomb to be tapped before peeking into anything. And now that bomb has been tapped, it's just going to be Ives spamming. But Ives gets taken down out as a result of these jet knives, but Lynn does not want to leave anything up to chance. Uses her Sova ultimate, but in the end it's Gojo who will find the last pick.
Yeah, and that leads UMD to, again, leading the scoreboard, which is great to see. I think that puts us at 5-4. Which is really exciting. You know, our attack is doing good right now. I see we have guns here. We have Grand Panda, their jet, still on an op. Looks like they're going to hold A main here. You know, they normally put like 3 skilled up to A, which is really interesting considering that they already have an op watching it.
Yeah, and Cypher utility for that matter, but they also do have an Odin on B side. It's not holding where Odins typically do hold on B. It's being a bit more passive than what we've seen, and now UMD knows that this operator's A, which means they're gonna run away as fast as possible. I would love to see them go mid, because mid's free, and if they go through market, I think they would have really good positioning on the B defenders, but instead they do choose to go mostly in from main. They're going to send Grace, though, to peek up into market, and this is a scary thing if you're Grace. Uses that smoke to just, you know, sneak through there.
Right, I mean, that was great by Grace, able to get market. She has no idea, though, that there's an op back there waiting, which means Ives could potentially get picked off here, but, you know, we're going to have the KO clear that first, and unfortunately picks off Ives. So we lose our smokes, leading us to a 2v4 here. Enemy team has the Omen ult, might use it for info, but, you know, we're not in the advantage here in numbers. Yeah, looks like the Omen is going to use this ult to gain some info and push into Boathouse, and unfortunately we're not able to hold the bomb. That was an interesting play by Omen. I mean, he ulted onto site, didn't see anyone, assumed that they were Boathouse, didn't cancel, and just like straight out like peeked right after that. That's interesting, because, you know, we probably heard the Omen ult, but we couldn't peek that because that would expose us to both lane and stairs. So that was a good ult by the enemy Omen there.
And the Jet repurchasing the operator for a 3rd or 4th time in a row. We could end up seeing another 6-6 half transition, but or UMD just maybe looking to turn the tables a little bit and actually build up a lead on once they switch to defense, which is what they did not do on Haven, and that we all know how that went for them. So hopefully they're able to take these next 2 rounds. They have a decent buy in order to do so for this round. I would love to see Gojo get this early pick up into B main, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen as she decides to look towards mid alongside Ives.
Yeah, I mean, the enemy Jet is holding tiles, which is where we are for mid, with an operator, so this could be hurtful, but it looks like we are scaling up A, and we're pushing in. Unfortunately, the Cypher util does get us there, and we aren't able to take that, but Gojo gets 2 incredible picks in mid, gets that op down, which is huge for UMD. Now we have a little crunch from main and tree. If we work together here, I think we can get sight. But we're going to push off, I guess, knowing that there could be, you know, 3 or 2 people up on A. I mean, might as well just rotate here on B.
It does look like it's going to be a B rotate, but UMD really does not have great positioning to take site right now because they're so spread out. They've got to wait till they group together, but time is ticking down, only 30 seconds left. So this is going to have to be a fast execute once it happens. Does not look like there's any defenders really in position to contest site much, so UMD should be able to get bombed down with no problem. But that Sova ultimate gonna come through for the defensive side, and it doesn't really pay off big for them. Doesn't do much damage either. Spike's able to come down regardless. Now UMD just kind of being passive, holding these angles, and Ives, who found an operator, is just doing so much damage with it. Oh my goodness.
Gets 3! Amazing by Ives there. Picking up that op is so interesting. I mean, hey, I mean, might as well give them a little taste of their own medicine there. That was worked out amazing in our favor there by Ives. I love that. Yeah, Ives instantly drops it and picks up a Vandal.
I'm a little upset.
Oh, wait. Drops it to possibly nobody? They might throw it off the map here. I'm not sure.
But Ives did so well with it.
Yeah, I
you
know.
Just, I hate to see them drop it, but...
yeah, I think just the concept of, like, opping on attack is so scary and risky, but honestly, that was a really good play by Ives. So we're doing a quick dart here in mid, which gives us positioning of Jet, but unfortunately we don't get the pick on that operator.
After knowing that operator is positioned where it is, smoke's going to come through for UMD, and they're just going to avoid peeking into that thing and instead place most of their bets towards A. But Ives, again, coming in huge, finding a pick mid off of the lurk. But it's the rest of the team who's going to be making way onto A site. Toxic finds that pick hell to give UMD just more room to work off of and able to get the spike down. And now they're going to just, you know, play into this passive retake that we've seen them do. But I love Ives' positioning. I really hope someone peeks into tree right there. But this operator is causing so many issues, even in retakes. And they also have to work around this Odin that's now tree. Ives escaping in the nick of time.
Yeah, I mean, it is last round, so we do pop both of our ults for KO and Ives. But unfortunately, our KO ultimate is taken down, and you know, Toxic is just sitting there down. But, you know, Toxic is able to see what is happening on site. Possibly just telling them, hey, they're not on bomb. And Gojo cleans it up perfectly. Amazing by UMD. Good retake. I thought that was kind of funny that that Toxic was down, but could technically still kind of understand if they're on bomb or not. So that's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's actually, I guess, a benefit of dying right there. So you can just, like, you know, oh, they're faking it. They're not faking it. But UMD able to come out of the attack half on top, which is what they couldn't do on Haven. So hopefully it's going to lead to a different narrative as they transition to defense and just give them either more of a cushion or just more confidence to work off of.
Yeah, it looks like we have the typical setup of Sova here on B lane, and then we have KJ set up with the alarm bot here in mid, and then just holding B main with Sova. We're doing that little Sova lineup. And doesn't get the KO. Grace is able to get a great pick on A with that one way. I like that she's backing up now once that she got that pick. I mean, now we just have to play together and play safe. We have the numbers. Cypher's trying to get some info here on mid, but doesn't catch anything like Ives is here on Cat.
And UMD's being pretty passive, even though they are numbers up. I do like that they're just focusing on holding site more than really taking control and pushing in their faces. Just kind of playing reactively, it looks like. But the attack is super, super quiet. So UMD's going to have to rely on utility to sound the alarm bells, which is what's going to happen after Gojo's bot gets sounded. So UMD probably a rotate is in order sooner rather than later, as it does look like this is going to be a B execute.
Yeah, I mean, we know that they're crunching us through market and main, and you know, this KO is able to get a pick off of Toxic, holding that tree angle.
Yeah, great positioning from that KO. But Gojo and Lin are just holding down Boathouse. Lin just clinging on to the smallest amount of HP, keeping it at a 2v2, still alive somehow, waiting for Ives to come through on the other side, just kind of being a distraction, but a very good distraction at that, is able to find 3 for that round. Now down to a 1v1.
Yeah, we still have a lot of util here from Ives. I mean, we have that smoke, a TP here right behind. Nope, we did not get the pit. We did not get the bomb off. And unfortunately, Control, maybe? Omen on the other team is able to retake that bomb.
So UMD loses their first defense, which is, you know, not ideal because now they're going to be forced into a save up against a bye. And like you said, defense tends to not be their strong suit. So you don't want to start to give up rounds here and, you know, go on a losing streak.
I will say, though, I was pretty happy with how they, you know, Gojo and Lin played boat. I mean, Lin got her picks, and they really were patient there on boat, like waiting them to push, you know, them in Boathouse. So I think that was good with, I guess, the idea of them playing off of each other. But it looks like they're doing a fast B push here, just like they did kind of last round. I mean, they aren't going market this time, so Gojo might be able to use her util here if she has any. Unfortunately, does not get a pick, but Lin does on the KO, but is traded off.
And this flank would have been perfect from Ives if it weren't for the Cypher trip, but I think might be able to TP around it. Yeah, might be huge for UMD if Ives can just continue to be quiet and peek up on that flank.
Yeah, this is very interesting. I mean, we still have a good amount of util. Like you just see Toxic throwing out her flash. We're going to try and clear CT here, which we're not able to do. I mean, it was a gun div. We have a Spectre versus what? Like a Classic? That's hard.
Yeah, that was a save round, so not one that you necessarily expect UMD to come out of with a win. But that is, regardless, that's going to put things at 7-7. UMD has lost the lead that they had gained previously on those last couple rounds of attack.
Yeah, I mean, we do have guns now here, and Grace is, you know, going to use that op. I think she's going to just go ahead and play mid here with it. Maybe hold... well, she can technically hold both Cat and Tiles with the positioning that she's in right now. Looks like Gojo's actually going to possibly set up A here, but it seems like a late play, maybe? We'll see what happens there. Grace is pushed up mid, which is very interesting.
Yeah, and a little bit of a setup is there for Gojo, but regardless, it just looks like UMD's playing site super passively.
Yeah, looks like we're just going to have to retake this. I mean, we did get a good amount of damage done to the Cypher, but we have Lin here droning into site, trying to get some info. We weren't able to get that Hella info, but we did know that there were a few people here on Generator, so we're going to peek that next. Grace gets one off the Generator and one off main. There is one, I think, Hell, right? Yeah, there's one Hell. Grace getting that Hell pick last main, and we're able to clean it up. Great round by UMD. This is literally exactly what I wanted to see by them.
Yeah, great round from Grace, also being aggressive in that retake. I think that's what UMD has really been lacking, is just some, you know, drive and some pep in their step for the retakes, because they just tended to drag a little bit or be a little bit haphazard. But no, that one looked very calculated.
Yeah, that was amazing. I mean, Grace literally played right off of our Sova's drone. Like, it might have not gotten that Hell info, but it got the info it needed to get, and Grace played right off of that, which was really good. So we have Grace still holding mid. I wonder if she'll still be aggressive a little bit and try and tuck that mid corner, holding Tiles to throw them off. We get info that there are 2 people here on Cat. And Grace is aggressive, holding that Tiles push, but unfortunately does not get that pick. Gets an amazing pick in mid, is able to make it out alive.
Yeah, Ivesenia is just going to help her out, because while all their attention might be on that operator, you got to watch out for Ivesenia, who's going to be peeking out from tree, and it's going to work out so well for UMD. They do come out in a numbers up situation, but Grace's HP not looking super good, but they just got to watch out for this B hit, which looks like that is what this is going to end up being.
Yeah, we don't have KJ util here, so we only have Sova holding it right now, which can be a little bit scary. I mean, we do have Grace here in market, so, you know, we could have her help here, but it's a little bit hard to just hold site one on one. Yeah, Grace gets an amazing pick on that switch part. She's on site.
Oh, I don't know if they know about Lynn's position or with that scan now they do, but before they just, you know, I don't think they really knew that we had anybody left on site. Grace, great shots with her operator at 3 so far for this round. Looking for the 4th through Boathouse, gonna find it.
4K. Oh, so good. You know, this is like typical Grace play. I love it. Yeah, once you put an op into Jet's hands, it's all fair game from there. It's scary to deal with, and it looks like UMD is really working that op.
Yeah, she's doing so well with that operator and gonna just keep, you know, buying full shields to hopefully keep that thing in play as long as possible for her. But look at this buy from the attack. It's really not strong at all, just deagles across the board. So hopefully this will be another like secure round for UMD unless we have a deagle demon on the other side.
Yeah. Looks like they're going to scale up towards B, possibly do a little bit of a rush here now that they have a few of their utilities blocked off with that KO. KO's also ulting to ensure that they can't use any util to counter their push, but Gojo is going to be holding this boat with Lynn. We've seen this before. Ooh, gets one. Unfortunately, does not get the second.
Yeah, Gojo gets taken down, which is UMD's pretty much only defense onto B. Now they've got to do a 3-person retake. Looks like everybody's going to be coming in from CT. Going to use that Omen utility to try and just make a little bit of more space for them, and so they're able to walk out right around switch, but they have not found any leeway onto site yet because these smokes are going to make things really difficult, especially when you have somebody playing in the smoke like that. It's hard, and Ives just kind of dancing around this angle, going to get picked off. But
gets 3 here. Amazing by Ives. Unfortunately, does not get to check that corner. It's just Grace left. She's not going to be able to get bomb here. Hopefully, she can grab that op back, maybe.
Yeah, or just at least not die. No,
Yeah.
at least she has a Vandal,
Yeah,
though.
at least she has that Vandal. I mean, we do have a lot of money, so I don't think losing a round is going to hurt our eco too much. Yeah, it looks like Lynn is going to buy an Odin here. Maybe hold B a little bit better with, like, the instant spray on B lane. I mean B main. And
yeah, Grace got the buy from her teammate to have an operator and has a backup Vandal too if things go south. But I really like where this round is going because she is about to get a swing right into her crosshair, as this one way also gonna put things even more in her favor if the attack decides to swing through there.
yeah, I like how Toxic is not peeking with her, but she's probably going to be playing off of her contact, which is going to throw them off a little bit. But unfortunately, Grace gets picked off here, and Toxic is not able to trade. But Ives is able to get a great pick on 2 great picks on Cat here, leading the game into a 4v3.
Ives has had such a great couple of rounds recently, and hey, they're still alive, so I don't see it stopping anytime soon. And Toxic going to also make things really difficult for the attack, as she's also able to find a pick regardless. Bomb able to come down. Sova ultimate. It's gonna just cause even more chaos as Ives finds 3.
Yeah, I mean, this might cause... Yeah, we just have Great Panda against 4 people watching Spike on A. I mean, there's just not much that can be done, especially with the util that Jet has. You know, there's no flashes, just has 1 smoke. Might just try and save their gun here. I know that Eagles don't have as good of a buy as UMD does.
Yeah.
There is an opt-down in main, though, so they might try and get that back.
Yeah, and this scan, I don't know if it caught that Jet, but Yeah, that op is just sitting right in front of them. Not sure if they're gonna grab it right at the end.
Yeah, I think Toxic's going for it. She gets it. Oh,
I wonder-
huge by Toxic.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be given straight to Grace.
Right. Yeah, that was a good round, and a good, gun choice by Toxic grabbing that for Grace.
Yeah, and we see the first timeout from the Eagles be taken. And for the first time in the series, they've taken a tactical timeout because UMD has managed to gain a pretty decent lead here, especially heading into, these late rounds. A lead becomes more and more important. UMD only 3 round wins away from winning the second game of the series. So I'm sure just Coach Dusty's going to be talking about how they can keep up the momentum that they've gained.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, he's probably trying to think of things to tell them to do because they're doing amazing on defense. Like, I think it's going very smoothly. I think they're playing off of each other really, really well. It might just be like, Ascent is one of those maps where there's so many like angles you can come back from on both A and and B. So it's kind of easier for them to play off of each other. I'm loving what I'm seeing. I'm loving the patience. I'm loving them playing off of each other, and I'm loving the utility usage by them.
And Grace is just having a great game. This time, she's top fragging in the lobby at 22 kills, only 13 deaths. And I just love that she keeps repurchasing this operator because she's just doing so well with it. We also do have an Odin also placed on B-site. The op shot's not going to connect, so she's forced to kind of back up into safety. But peeks in this time, finds success off of it. Lynn's going to send in the reinforcements with an Odin. But Grace and Lynn just both get overwhelmed with attackers in that moment. And now B-site is not in control anymore.
Yeah, I mean, they were able to get a few guns off of that, like an op and an Odin. I'm not sure if they picked that operator up, but they do have guns here. That Odin is tough to work with sometimes. Yeah, that spray is just, you just spray it and it's hard.
Oh, and the Odin with a 4K on the brink of an ace potentially. And this was Lynn's Odin, keep in mind. So that just tells you how risky sometimes purchasing an Odin can be if it gets picked up by the enemy team.
Yeah, I mean, they did do a fast play there. Once they saw that it was being held by an operator, I think they realized that once they just get onto site, all they have to do is fight that op together and possibly get site. Ace by the KO Richie Lou, perhaps that's how you say it, but it's a good ace with the Odin.
And I believe, yeah, they've kept this Odin. So now it's up to UMD to kind of counter that. Grace going to repurchase the operator, but Lynn does not have enough money anymore to buy any sort of gun after buying this Odin that got used against them.
Yeah, I think we're going to be a little bit on a rougher buy here. I think one of us can't buy full shield, but I think we're just going to be doing the same idea here, but this time Grace is not going to hold switch because that can put her in a little bit of a crammed situation. Instead, we're going to just be holding Boathouse and playing site and trying to hold it. Lynn has to play a little bit more safe here. Unfortunately, gets picked off by the Jet.
And we see yet another retake in order for the Terps onto B-site. This time, Toxic's going to initiate her K ultimate to try and make things a little bit easier, but no, she gets downed, but could still be revived if Ivsenia is able to get there in time, but the numbers are just not looking in their favor at all. But great round for Grand Panda fighting 4.
Yeah, this puts the game to a tie right now, 10-10. But let's think about this, because UMD historically hasn't been doing too well on defense, but it seems like they're getting those rounds in this time. So honestly, I think this could be very, very, very winnable by UMD, especially how they're playing their defense. I honestly have a good feeling about this game for them.
Yeah, we've seen kind of moments of confidence and success from the Terps, but they've just kind of lost their momentum. Seems like after that timeout, that flash did not hit Grace, and the Eagles are going to pay for it as she comes right around tiles. Great knife shots for Grace. She's not done, but gets finally picked off, but not without causing a lot of damage. Lynn,
oh yeah,
good sheriff shot outside of garage there, and that's going to force the Eagles to be super just, you know, passive and back up almost into their own spawn.
That was an amazing push by Grace. I mean, they were not expecting that at all. She almost immediately dashes behind them. They don't even turn around. They don't even realize that there was a dash just right behind them. Like that caught them very off guard, and it paid off for UMD, especially because that is their save. I mean, we see a stinger, we see the knives, and we see, I think, it might have been a share for Classic with Lynn. Yeah, we're just going to play a little bit more patient here.
An opening pick comes through on the attack, which is going to mean that B-side is out of control for UMD, and we're forced in a 2v2 situation. HP slightly in the advantage of the Terps, but still they have got to work together or push and defuse the spike because time is no longer going to be on their side.
Yeah, and you know, considering that we don't have a lot of util here, it's going to be a little bit of a harder take, especially with the gun diff. But we are going to flash into sight, trying to take the stairs. Fortunately, we get picked off by Bo, and now it's just a 1v2.
And this is hard for Gojo because she also has to defuse the spike, but the HP for Grand Panda only down to 5. So this is so winnable, and the turret is going to finish the job and turn that round into a win for UMD when it looked really scary for a second.
Yeah, I mean, W turret, honestly. That was a good placement. I mean, it was a 2v1, and she basically made it a 2v2 with her turret there watching boat. So I really love that by her. We can see here that the enemy Jet has 24 kills. Grace here has 26. It's a tough game between these two Jets here. I know both have been using that Odin. And here's that play by Grace. So good.
Yeah, great knife shots there. Almost found 3 on that fast flank, but couldn't quite. But I'd love to see her do that again because it just worked out so well for her. But I think that's kind of that's the type of play you can only do a couple rounds before it becomes predictable.
Right, yeah, it looks like they're holding Taz a little bit now just because they don't want to go through that again.
Ahead.
Lynn's playing a little bit more back here. I mean, I guess they're going to do a little bit more of a retake because they have the KJ ult, which I think is a great call.
And this is a really, really important round for the attack because you want to push this thing at 11-11 because if not, that puts the Terps at match point. So winning this round is super essential, you know, if you're going up against UMD.
Yeah, I think Ives is gonna ult back into pretty far back. We're getting great picks here. Omen ulted behind them, knows that a lot of them are lane. Not much can be done here, honestly. We have so much util, so many people holding spike. Yeah, and Gojo cleans it up, leading us to match point.
Yeah, we've had a just beautiful last couple of rounds, so much so that the Terps have gained enough momentum to end up at match point. They're only 1 round win away from sending the series into 3 maps, which would be pretty huge considering, you know, how grim kind of the first map looked in terms of like our defense just getting ran through round after round. So this is a great improvement from UMD.
Yeah, our defense is just so smooth right now. I'm so happy with how it's going. I think we did a lot of rethinking after that first game, and we literally just applied what we were talking about, and it's perfect. So it looks like it's going to be kind of a default here. Gaining some info. Cypher lurking on A. He is 1-wayed off, so probably not going to push that. But we do have 2 of the enemy players up on Cat. Ives might be aware of this and is just going to hold this close corner. Hopefully getting both here. Gets 1. Gets 2. Grace getting a 3rd right on that A 1-way take. And now we just have Grand Panda. We know that they are mid. Sova, it seems like we are unaware of where the Sova is right now.
Yeah, but this is exactly how you want this round to go if you're UMD, because now you have complete spike control, and that's all you need in order to win this round. Just hold a crossfire around that spike, and this round is pretty much yours if everything goes according to plan.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 1 enemy remaining. We have 2 huge ultimates right here. We have KJ and we have Sova. So if all goes wrong, hey, at least we have all the retake pretty much we need to hold that spike.
And Toxic met with the Sova and gets killed, and that's going to lead to a plant, but like you said, ultimate comes through for Lin. Does so much damage. The Sova's only down to 31 HP, and their only option here is to be aggressive, especially now that that KJ ultimate came through. Going to have to use their ultimate to counter and get rid of that ultimate, but they were not quite able to. Gojo pushes up in hell, finishes things off, and we are going to a third map.
Yeah, that was amazing. I loved UMD's defense there. It was beautiful, crispy. I love it. I'm excited to see what happens next map. I believe it is Sunset.
Yeah, well, we'll come back after a quick commercial break to catch you guys on Sunset.
Whether you're a new publisher or app developer, or if you've been around the block for a little while and you have your own ad ops team, Playwire is developing the solutions and products that are perfect for you.
RAMP stands for Revenue Amplification Management Platform. But really what it does, it helps you make more money per user, and it helps you simplify your business so you can just focus on what matters, which is making great content. So if you think about today's ecosystem, there's so many different pieces to run an ad tech platform.
RAMP brings the entire ad ecosystem under one umbrella. Everything from centralized ad unit creation to piping in those demand sources. We layer on a DMP, and we take care of your data privacy and consent management for you as well. We tie all of that together with robust analytics.
Playwire really offers our publishers two different models at this point. We've got the full service model where we come in and we cover everything. And there's now our new self-service model where you can come in and you can say, I just want Playwire to take care of some of these things for me. Another thing that we've had a lot of partners do with us in the past is say, hey, maybe I have a few of my own direct campaigns that I want to run. Or I've even got an ad ops team. I don't know whether Playwire is right for me because those people are doing a good job. We don't want to displace them in favor of Playwire. That's fine. We're happy to bring all the technology that we've put out there, but use it with your own team and with your own ad stack. What does that mean for you as a publisher? It means that you get to leverage all of the revenue maximization technology that we've got in place and still have all of the capabilities and all of the demand partners that you're used to working with. You can have your cake and you can eat it too.
We actually do things at such scale, right? We're serving 70 billion ads a month at this point. That's a huge benefit that we're passing on to the publisher.
Revenue intelligence marries human intelligence with machine intelligence. At its core, revenue intelligence is about taking all the demand that you're already getting and getting more out of it. We want to make it so that you're getting 10% more from your ad inventory without even worrying about who the advertisers are. It's based on us going in and understanding what are the places where we can put additional price pressure on. There's all sorts of situations like this where you can eke out little benefits and add them all up. You're quickly at a point where you are getting that 10, 15, 20% uplift on your revenue without having made any changes in who's actually doing the advertising.
Our DMP is built from the ground up to work in a cookieless environment and not use cookies to basically store, user behavior or anything like that. And it's built right into the RAMP platform.
We can tell advertisers information about user interests, but also user behavior, do it on a massive scale, do it in that real-time way that we also do with our revenue intelligence capabilities, and also do it in a way where we can leverage the size of our network. We're trying to do everything that we can to show you every step of the process of getting an ad onto the page. That means that we've got much richer charts and graphs, a lot more ability to look at a piece of information and drill down on it. Answer that question that maybe you didn't even know that you were asking. We're trying to make you think differently, actually, about your business, about how your business relates to advertising, and reveal all of that through the platform. So analytics are one big piece of it.
It's a constant evolution. We're constantly updating our technology. We're constantly creating the future.
It's a real challenge for publishers these days to navigate advertising technology. It seems like every 6 months there's some new challenge. And at Playwire, we make sure that we take all of that pain away from our publishers so they can focus on their core business of publishing.
Terp Adventures take flight at STAM. Host to countless Maryland events, programs, performances, and more. Feed your body, feed your mind, feed your soul. Let your talents soar. Dance, sing, perform, find your thing. Join more than 800 student organizations and clubs. Find community here. Leadership lives here. Art thrives here. With space to grow. We're all just kids at heart. Let your imagination fly. Compete. Play. With wings on our feet. Here your spirit can fly. Here your soul lifts up. Here you remember those who came before. This is STAM. This is the Center for Campus Life, where Terp Adventures take flight. You belong here. Come fly with us.
Hi everybody, welcome back. We are heading to our third map, which is going to be Sunset, and we are yet again going to start this one on attack.
Yeah, I mean, my smile is not going away because honestly, I'm so proud of Academy and how they played that last game. Their defense was amazing, attack was good, and now like going into this next map, I think now that we've gotten those 2 maps out of the way, I think we're good now. I think we have a good idea of what we're going to go into with this next map.
Yeah, hopefully everyone's just a little bit more settled in. Honestly, for the first map, you can partially blame it on this is the first time most of these people have been in the studio. First time they've played together in the studio for everybody. So oh my gosh,
There's
that little
Grace
hamster
saying
thing
hi.
is so cute.
Yeah,
But,
it actually sings too. Sorry.
it does. Yeah, so hopefully everyone's feeling a bit more settled, into their seats here in the studio, and just we're ready to take on this third and final map.
Oh my goodness. It's so cute. Yeah, it's like the little sad violin song.
Yeah, it's like
it's really cute. Yeah, shout out Toxic for that little hamster there, our spirit animal.
Is that your team's mascot?
Nope. Our team mascot is the Meow Meow song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, we're going into Sunset here. I'm expecting a breach. I'm expecting double initiator here, like Fade. We're going to have a Cypher here instead of a KJ probably, just because Cypher's very OP here on Sunset. Did you hear? This might be a rumor. I don't know if you can confirm, but is Cypher getting nerfed? Do you know?
Didn't he recently get buffed?
He did. Yeah. I feel like they're always doing that with Cypher.
First we're gonna go into Agent Select before I yap about Cypher. Okay.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Interesting. Yeah, we're gonna go Raze here. We have Ives on Omen, Grace. Going Raze here. You guys haven't seen Grace's Raze, man. It's really good. Lynn is going here with that Fade. Gojo on Cypher, like I said earlier. Cypher's just so good on this map. And Toxic on Breach. Double Initiator, like I had mentioned.
I'm so excited to see Grace on Raze because we've seen her play Jet the past 2 maps, and just having a different toolkit. I'm super hyped to see how she's able to use her satchels, Roomba, all the good stuff in order to take more space for her team. And I'm also stoked that UMD finally has a Cypher on our side because I feel like it's caused us so many issues to go up against. So finally, we'll be able to just kind of
have them
give
on
them
our
a
side.
taste of their own medicine, a bit of like in terms of the Cypher setups, how difficult it is to counter on attack. The only difference in comps is our duelist, which really isn't, a huge difference. But I'm so excited to see Grace on the Raze.
Yeah, me too. I also saw the difference of they have a Sova and we have Fade. And honestly, just looking at both of the teams just with agents, I like ours better. I like that we have a Fade just because comparing Sova's ult to Fade's, I just think it's more helpful on both attack and defense. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited for our comp, and I know that this is a map that we have practiced, so I'm excited to see what we can do here.
Yeah, and we're going to be on attack, but before we can get our attack started, we're in a bit of attack pause. Not sure what the reason is yet, but hopefully it gets resolved soon, regardless of what it is.
Yeah, just looking around so far. Everyone's just messing around, I guess, but we don't really have set ideas of where people are other than it looks like Sova and Cypher are pushed out here on B, holding B. Cypher's setting up B, which is pretty typical for Cypher. And then we're going to have, let's see, the Omen is holding A, default plant spot, whereas the Breach is holding, I believe that is Link. And Jet is holding mid with a Ghost.
Yeah, like basically 100% of the time, you want to see that Cypher setup being on B site because it's just so powerful there. There's a great one-way, there's just a lot of room for some pretty nasty trips. So I'm expecting we're going to see Gojo set up there, 9 out of 10 times, maybe every now and then trying to switch it up on A site to try and just get, just that unpredictable factor in there. But we are still in a tech pause. Hopefully we're going to get out of it soon. But the suspense builds for how the third map is going to start.
Yeah, I am excited. We're on attack again. Like I said, we do pretty good on attack for the most part. We have a lot of util. We have a good amount of util to defend that Cypher. We have Raise Nade. We did pick a breach, so we have the breach aftershock. We don't have that Sova dart, but it's okay. Fade is going to give us amazing info onto site anyways. So I'm really liking our attack comp. Yeah, it's pretty standard from both sides in terms of comp. Yeah, I did hear a meow just now. I don't know, we just do it sometimes. It's an issue.
It's an issue. like during rounds, will you guys meow?
Yeah, honestly, sometimes we do it like right during the rounds. Like when we're rotating, we're just like meh, 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 and then someone will get picked off and we're like, stop meowing.
Everyone,
let's lock in.
Stop meowing. Okay, we are out of the tech pause. Meowing aside, and looks like, UMD just gonna try and work up a good attack. Looks like we have some Cypher utility to watch that flank that UMD expects to happen.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be a little tiles push here in mid. I love it by UMD. It's interesting. They have a really good attack, so I think they're gonna be really aggressive here. Oh, nope, they're going A. Read that wrong. My bad.
Yeah, looks like the utility's going to be placed A. Fade Dog invested to try and clear any short angles. Looks like those are all good. Gonna have to work through some Omen smokes to make way into Elbow, but it's being watched also aggressively. So as soon as they peek out that smoke, they've got to be ready to take a fight off the bat. But I also do like the mid positioning from Ives. I don't think anyone's going to push, into that angle yet, but still, just good to create some presence there. Smoke dissipates, which means Grace has good vision on what could be happening on the back end of Elbow, and that's going to lead her to be able to push up and take a bit of more space for her teammates. Smokes come down for the Terps, but Grace gets taken down as she tries to entry. UMD does not have bomb site yet, but Lynn finding 2 kills going to change that, and Gojo also making herself known in mid. So UMD should be able to get B site without much of an issue, get plant down. Only 2 more remaining defenders to pick off. Looks like Gojo's going to interact with Grand Panda here. Comes out on the other end of that one alive. And Avsenia cleans things up, looking CT as well.
Yeah, perfect attack by UMD. I loved how Erin was she was so senti there. So senti. She just waited there in mid, waited until they rotated. It didn't matter that her whole team was fighting there in A. She gave full faith into her team, full trust that they've got it, and didn't just rotate and leave mid. She stuck and waited for that pick, which she got, which she was able to just go ahead and rotate over to help her team, and was able to clean up that round. So good round by Gojo there, and just in general the whole team.
Revealing area.
So now it looks like UMD placing some utility towards B side. They're going to be aware of the Cypher setup pretty soon as they start to hear that first trip start to hum. But we do have Grace on a lurk, which is not really typical for UMD. She's not able to find a pick yet, but Toxic on the other side of the map is going to have to use her breach util to try and make way for her team to work through this Cypher utility, and they're just about to head through it with the Fade Dog also trying to clear a trip or 2 along the way.
Yeah, we have really good positioning here. Grace was able to get a lot of the health off of that breach, which is really good. Ives is here holding this little corner, trying to help and look at Boba, but unfortunately gets picked off. We have 2 people Boba. Toxic gets 1. Gojo gets 1 off of, I believe that might have been Market. Unfortunately, we get 2 of us picked off, but Gojo is able to trade right through Market, and now that's just leaving Grand Panda and Omen.
Yeah, now Grace is in a 1v1. Spike's ticking, so time is on her side. Her teammates have got to start pinging this bomb. Throws a satchel to try and, slow down this diffuse, and that's exactly what it does. And she just buys enough time to win this round and save her gun, presumably in the process. No! Turns around at the last second, not able to save her gun, but smiles across the board because she was still able to win that round.
Yeah, that was a very smart play by her, just using her util. I think we all of our team members were able to use our util during that hold, so I'm really proud of them for that. Yeah, I mean, they did get a good amount of our guns down, which is unfortunate. But, I mean, it's a bonus anyways. We're just going to lie by here and make the most of it as we can, as we do have a 2 lead.
Yeah, this round is just great for UMD's economy, but if you're the Eagles here, you definitely want to win this round because you do have good weapons in hand. So the super important round for them, this time UMD looking like they want to go A, which worked out for them the first round, but Grace has taken a significant amount of damage to get things started here, and this blind's going to come through, and UMD's just going to have to fight for any sort of elbow control, and it's going to be such an issue because of this breach's aim, but Toxic finally able to find that trade. UMD still not looking like they want to rotate, more or less. They have their kind of roots set here onto A side. No one's really holding it aggressively in terms of the defensive side of things. So if they get eyes on CT or maybe a smoke there, they should be able to take sight.
Yeah, that was a great aftershock by Toxic. She's just going to plant right there as her aftershock was going out and, you know, keeping her safe from that alley push. Now all we have to do is just hold spike. We have, you know, 4 players here. We have a lot of util. I think we're just going to play safe here. Ives kind of trying her best to hold that. Gets a pick, but unfortunately gets traded off. Control dies here. Toxic, amazing cleanup. 4K. 4K by Toxic. She ate. She did so good.
Yeah, no, great round from Toxic. And, you know, what a great round for UMD to win because they had little to no weapons going into that. And now look at the weapons they have. And they've only had to purchase like 4 of them because Toxic obviously survived. And look at her economy. She has so much money in the bank there. And let's just take another look at these kills from Toxic.
Yeah, just amazing hold. So good.
Yeah, just walking out of that smoke unexpectedly pays off for her.
Yeah, looks like it's a little bit of a well, could have been a mid push, but they have the information that they're pushed up, so they're gonna kind of try and scale up anywhere but that. Grace takes a pick here on A main. Doesn't exactly follow up with it, just, you know, is keeping her distance. She doesn't have anyone playing with her, so I can see why she's not exactly just pushing up after that. Ives here still holding mid. We're playing just a little bit slower here, getting info, getting our picks. I really like this. This puts us in the lead of a 5v3.
Yeah, and now it looks like Gumby's going to pull the fast rotate towards A. I've seen coming in huge towards mid. Eventually does get picked off, but has done the damage anyway, only leaving 1 defender for UMD to deal with. I really do like Grace's positioning, as they might be able to, you know, catch this Sova as they're trying to walk up, and that's exactly what happens as Grace has a great round, able to find 3.
Yeah, that was a great round by UMD. I am loving what I'm seeing. It's just so it looks very cohesive, very put together, like they're really playing off of each other, being very, very patient with what they're doing, and it's definitely paying off as we have a lead. I think it's, what, 4-0, 3-0 now? Yeah, 4-0.
Yeah, the Eagles have yet to find a round win on defense, which is where we've seen them, you know, typically hang in there with the Terps. You know, we've seen 2 really even attack halves for UMD on both maps so far. So the fact that UMD is gaining, you know, a good cushion here is certainly a good sign.
Yeah, unfortunately the Sova is able to peek out and get 2 kills there, which just leaves the rest of our teammates to try and maybe scale up mid, get that bomb back. We're going to have to fight mid, but we do have a smoke, and that's exactly what we do. We smoke off mid top, and we're going to try and get the spike back here. See a little bit of spray here, trying to get them off that spike. Their Cypher, however, is going to just swing out and clean up the round against UMD. And unfortunately, we're not able to obtain the spike back or win that round.
So first round loss for UMD, but other than that, it's been pretty smooth sailing. They have enough, they have enough cushion in their economy to really not let this round affect their buy. Should be able to purchase up Vandals, Phantoms here, all the utility as well. So hopefully UMD able to, not let the Eagles go on a huge run here like we've been able to, like we've kind of seen in the past.
Yeah, I mean, Grand Panda on the operator, I believe mid, and it doesn't look like we're going to be doing too much of a mid thing here. I mean, we do have Ives smoking up mid top and maybe going to hold that, but instead goes back with her team on A main.
We do see a lot of elbow aggression from UMD yet again. The Raze ultimate invested for Grace pays off as she's able to find 2 off of that with her Vandal still alive. Grace is still in this game and still creating space for her team. Onto A site, Sova ult gets used by the side of the Eagles, takes down Lynn, who was planting the bomb, and Grace also soon to die right afterwards. And now UMD finally suddenly finds himself in a numbers disadvantage at a 1v2 with just Ives at full HP, able to get things started with the first pick and knows exactly where the second is, but cannot quite come out on the other end of that.
Yeah, that was a tough end right there. I mean, Gojo ran back as soon as, she realized that everyone was basically on site there, and it was just a hard retake in general. It was like the positioning was a little bit hard for us. But hopefully we can bring it back this next round.
Yeah, you don't want to let the Eagles go on such a large run here because UMD has won a couple rounds and you just want to see them continue to build that cushion because their defense tends to be not as strong. I mean, hey, we saw them put up a great defense on Ascent, but historically, as a member of this team, that's kind of the trend you see. So you want to see them just build more and more of a cushion on attack.
Yeah, I mean, if we build more cushion on the attack, it could really help us out later when we defend, like you said. But Grand Panda is going to hold this B with an op. They are now aware that Grand Panda has this op with Lynn's util of the Fade Dog. We're scaling up B main here. We get a great pick here in Garage. Omen gets picked off, the Sova gets picked off, which is huge for us because that is what was kind of hurtful for us. We're Fade ulting in. Gojo's going to get that kill off of the op with Grand Panda, leading us to a numbers advantage of 4v2. But keep in mind, the Breach has his ult. They're not going to use it though. They're just going to try and fight it here, and they lose, bringing UMD to 5-2 as an attack.
I really liked that aggression from Market onto site. They were not afraid of that operator when they were entering from Market because they had a numbers advantage at that point because the draw rotates out from B site. So another great round for UMD, and that's going to be a tactical timeout taken by the Eagles to try and work out, what they have to change here on their defense.
Yeah, I mean, I loved UMD's gameplay by that. I don't know. I wonder if they're going to maybe switch up Cypher on a different site or maybe even start putting trips in Market because UMD has been, really, really good at just taking that market space and working together to take it. So I would honestly probably expect to see a little bit of a heavier setup in Market. And then, yeah, do you think anything different that the defending team will be doing?
I think mostly it's going to be about changing where they place their Cypher setup, like you said. And also they have got to find out a way to hold down elbow when UMD decides to take A site because that's where they're really losing ground there.
Yeah, that's a great point to bring up. So looks like we have the same setup as before where Cypher is playing B and might put a trip here in Garage maybe? Yeah, it does put a trip there. We have the Jet on B. I'm not sure what gun they have, but they're playing B. They have already pushed out into B. Yeah, I don't know if that's a Marshall or Op, but holding that position.
It's an operator right behind boxes, down to 10 HP regardless, able to find Gojo and dash out back into safety. Huge pick for that Jet there. UMD still looking like they're defaulting for the most part, but A is left alone. I would love to see UMD scaled towards A because I think Grace is going to get the read soon that there's not a single defender on that site. And I really do like Ives making more noise mid because that's drawing even more rotates that way.
Yeah, I love that Lynn is playing right behind Grace, supporting her, throwing her util just to get some info there on Allie, making sure everyone's cleared up there in Allie, which we now have info that they are. We get Spike down, pretty much wasting that Breach's Aftershock, which is pretty big for us. Breach does have ultimate, so we could play, yep, they use it, and Grace does not get hit by that op and is able to get one off of that Cypher. Oh.
And now Breach Ultimate used for UMD to try and kill some of these CT defenders, and it works out initially, but in the end, the Terps just get picked off and a retake gone wrong.
Yeah, that was hard. I mean, Grace did have good positioning there, but she could only do so much as it was 3v1 there on Allie. And that ultimate kind of, not hitting. I think everyone was a little bit hurtful for UMD there, but, it's okay. We still have the lead, 5-3. Our eco isn't terrible. We're probably going to have to save up a little bit here to buy better next round. We're going against pretty much all full guns. We have an op here from the attack, no, from defense, sorry, where the op is actually going to be watching tiles. That's interesting.
Yeah, this Jet's been watching pretty unorthodox angles with their operator. Last time we saw them behind box into B, and hey, they got a pick off of it and able to dash back out to safety. This time, almost spots I've seen outside of tiles there. So now Ives is going to be a little bit more passive, peeking that angle again. But now it just looks like the Terps are defaulting yet again. This looks very reminiscent of the previous round.
Yeah, Spike is dropped down a little bit towards B, so it's really just a matter of what kind of picks can we get right now. What kind of info can we get right now? We already know that Jet is in market with an op or possibly towards B. So we're not going to peek anything too crazy. Yeah, Ives gets seen by the Sova drone. So we're not going to... the defense is going to not give up mid there completely, knowing that Ives was there mid. Grace getting one. Possibly... I mean, she got... that Omen very, very low. Almost lower than half HP.
Oh,
gets that breach.
Yeah, great utility usage from Grace, just kind of throwing a bunch of utility and peeking immediately off of that in order to, displace their crosshairs. Pays off in her favor as Spike's going to be able to come down eventually for Gojo if she doesn't get sashled off of it.
Yeah, I don't think they have any idea right now that Ives is right there. Oh, it gets one. Is able to swing out, get another. And we have the last person on defense on Allie, which Grace is watching from that high angle. And yeah, I mean, this is pretty good for UMD. The Jet has an op. Do you think they're going to try and play aggressive for that op? I don't know if we have that much money to do that, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know if we have much HP to do that with either with most of our players, but no, the op is actually the thing that swings out first, and now it's just going to be a run to spawn to safety from the Spike.
Ooh, there's Grace trying to play for that op, and maybe perhaps unfortunately does not make it out of the Spike explosion. But it's okay because we still have guns, and the enemy team does still have an op, so we'll be aware of that, probably towards mid.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen the operator being placed mid more than it really has been. It's mostly been on sites holding aggressive entry points, but Ives just being very silent until, they peek out and find those two picks there. So great job from Ives, great positioning.
Yeah, I don't think the Sova realized Ives was there because Toxic was actually the one to swing out and help Ives get that first pick. So could be a B push here. Spike is still towards spawnish, so it's kind of another let's see what we can do sort of situation. Doing our classic market push, but Cypher did put a trip here this time. So we're going to see how we can counter that.
And this time, UMD being a tad more aggressive when it comes to mid and market, where Grace is going to use a lot of her utility, but gets taken down by the breach shot. So that's UMD's main entry taken out of the equation, and they're pretty far from spike too, so regardless they're just going to have to double back and reconsider where they want to hit. And this operator is just going to make things increasingly difficult as it's holding down mid. So mid's not really an option for their rotates anymore. It's going to force them to go the safe way through spawn back towards A.
Yeah, unfortunate timing there, but Lin is able to help out Gojo. Unfortunately, Gojo does take a lot of damage there, but looks like we're going to scale up towards A, including the spike. We got an amazing pick by Gojo on Sova A Link. We now have info where everybody is. We know Jet has the op, so we're not going to, be too aggressive here, I bet. Fade ulting does not get the Jet. Wonder if we're going to hold this. I don't see anyone holding Ali right now.
Yeah, they gotta be aware because there's two people pushing in from Ali, and look how much space the Cypher's taken, and now the Cypher's the one swinging, but Lin able to find that pick, but Gojo and Lin both get taken down pretty instantly. Toxic soon to follow, and once again we've seen UMD not being able to stop this retake on A.
Yeah, I mean, Eagles gold now, leading into 4 rounds, putting 4 rounds onto the board. UMD is still having 6, so no matter what, we're going to end at least at an even board here, 6-6. But Dusty's going to call this this timeout, and hopefully we'll rethink and talk out a few things, hopefully getting us a bigger lead this half.
Yeah, a lead is super important because you don't know how this team is going to look on defense, especially on Sunset. We're going to heavily rely on that Cypher setup, so it's a matter of, how far can our setup really carry us, and just trying to get these last couple of attack rounds in our favor just to build up momentum, but also economy. UMD's in dire need of kind of beefing that aspect of their attack as well.
Yeah, I think, market is one of our main plays. We love going market because we're just really good at, using our util that way and just taking that space, but the Cypher did start setting up there like, expected when someone keeps going market. So it's a little bit harder for us to, use our best skill right now, which is why I think it's a little bit harder right now. But, hopefully we're able to bring it back. Hopefully we have some new ideas here. Looks like we're all on B. Interesting. Yeah, we're avoiding that trip on market. Now we know there's only one trip. Probably, most likely.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. There is only one trip holding B main. So 4-person push through B main with the exception of Gojo, who's going to be pulling off a lurk onto A. Not making any noise, though, just kind of waiting for rotates. Not going to find it, though, but Grace creating a lot of space, using her ultimate, does not quite find one with her ultimate, but has just taken so much space in the process, and now has the information using her Roomba that there's at least one person, Boba, and now Toxic's gonna peek out off of her blind. Great play from Toxic, but it's Boba that UMD's got to be aware of, as 2 players have died from those angles.
Yeah, I mean, I expect here Gojo and... Oh, unfortunately, we just have Gojo, and they have no idea that, she's market because they were market and they didn't see her there. So hopefully she's going to get that pick off, which means she only has to hold this last person onto spike. It is almost diffused now. Oh, and she just misses it, and unfortunately, Eagles does get it off.
Yeah, so close yet so far for Gojo there. Narrowly losing that round, and regardless of who wins this next round, we're seeing a really tight, competitive attacking half for UMD, which is exactly what we've seen in the last 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, that was a little bit rough. It was very, very close, though. I mean, hopefully, we can get this last round just so that we can have that, lead. But looks like we're gonna maybe try the same thing on A. Maybe we just don't want to deal with that Cypher stuff. Lin is she stunned? I think she might have been stunned, but Grace is gonna take this elbow space with Lin's util of using her dog.
Well, look at this off angle though by Grand Panda. Could be really detrimental, but no, she's forced off of that because now UMD has that positioning on Reed, and the nade's going to come in for Grace also to further push her off that angle. But now UMD has made way onto A site. And it's just
great
gonna
pick.
Yeah, it's gonna go more in their favor. But all of a sudden, trades come through for both Grace and Ives.
Yeah, I mean, that was interesting. The Sova ulted. Breach is able to get a pick, but Gojo trades, and then Sova gets another. Toxic using her ult a little bit earlier here just so that she can take a little bit more space. She has no idea if they're alley or on site. Gets that alley pick. Last is on bomb, but she's thinking, hey, he's not on. I just gotta pick alley. And perfectly does a clutch here. Gets that pick. And that leads us. Yeah. I see that.
I thought she just meowed, but I think it was the spray.
Oh yeah. That's the I bought it. I'm guilty. It's so cute.
I love the little cat. It's so perfect for Halloween.
I know, it's so cute. I'm obsessed with it.
But yeah, great clutch from Toxic. Just knowing that was a fake and peeking just at the perfect time, crosshair placement on point.
Yeah, we have a great lead here, 7-5. We're now on defense, which I'm hoping to see great things as we did really good last round. I see a bunch of pings. I'm interested. What does that mean? It's a bunch of pings marking. What was that? It was marking.
It was marking. I believe that's. Not elbow, but a main.
Link, like linkish,
yeah,
mainish. Interesting.
So maybe that is where the attack's gonna be in. But no, look at this fast rotate.
Oh, they're leaving.
Yeah, dipping from A, and it's a good thing Gojo's there and her utility's also there. But there's still 3 UMD defenders on A side who have got to start rotating.
She sees them, she hears them, and that's just gonna cause Ives here to hurry and scatter back to help Gojo. But looks like they're just going to play retake here, wait for their teammates. The Breach and Cypher holding a cross onto Bo, but that's going to be hard to push out of now. The other enemy team has somebody watching flank as well, so I've stunned here, smoked off, but blinded, so hopefully could possibly get a kill here. Lynn gets one, Gojo gets one, Ives gets one, Grace gets one. And Toxic gets one. That's going to give us a team ace?
Yeah,
amazing
the whole
play.
Team just doing their part, each finding their own individual pick on that retake. Like you said, team ace.
Yeah, great team ace by our team. I love that. Everyone did their part. Great defense hold. I was kind of scared there because of like the cross for Boba, but that blind by Ives, chef's kiss, amazing. Pretty much got rid of their whole cross, and they were able to swing out, kill that person who wasn't blinded, and then turn around and kill that other guy. So now we have even a bigger lead, 8-5, looking good.
Yeah, and the first defensive round for UMD goes in their favor, and that's exactly what you want to see because now they're able to purchase up, a better guns here and presumably take this next round, considering that typically the team that loses is going to be on a full save in the second round.
Hey, I don't know if I saw that right, but is that a one-way in market? Interesting.
I think so. And the Eagles putting a lot of utility towards B site, and it does look like that's where Bomb's going to end up being, but look at this Omen's positioning. Great job from Gojo turning, finding that pick. She does get traded, which is going to lead to the attackers regaining control of the spike and presumably, just running back to B site.
Yeah, I mean, we can see what I was talking about earlier, how they're just going to play together. They're going to play it slow. They're going to be patient. I mean, Spike's not being planted yet. Well, now it is. Grace clearing that corner, clear market, leads us to a 3v1. Hopefully, she's just going to wait here for our teammates to come and help her out. We're going to use our util, flash in, swing, and Sophie gets 2, but Lynn is able to clean it up and win us the round, giving us a 9-5 lead.
That was scary for a second. That's Sova. Just, Lynn still has a lot of HP, but man, I saw a world where that became a little scary.
That was scary. That was definitely scary. But, we're here. We're up. We're 9-5. We lost a lot of guns there, but it is our bonus anyways, so it's okay. Enemy team has a lot of guns. They're attacking, so might do a little bit of a rush here. I'm not sure. But Lynn is going to hold this A link, and we can see that they are either going to go tiles or A, maybe both, just in general getting some info. Breach stunning mid, and Grand Panda trying to take a little bit of a space here in mid.
Yeah, I do like that Gojo is watching market because that's where we've seen aggression from the past, especially once you know that mid presence is being taken. The next step after that is got to be market. So I like that we have decent eyes on market, but I'm not sure where the Eagles are gonna hit quite yet. It looks like they're more or less placing their bets towards A and mid. They do have a trip set up for flank, so I wouldn't be surprised if this ended up being an A execute. But in terms of our defensive positioning on A, looking pretty aggressive in terms of this crossfire. We see we see Grace and Toxic hold in the entry to A.
Yeah, that one way to market, the enemy jet is actually able to get a pick off of our Cypher, which is hard because now they know that Cypher setup, it's not working on B right now, and that's just going to lead them to get onto site. Killing eyes gives them the entirety of site. Now they have full information that pretty much everyone else is up on A. But the ultimate from the Cypher was early enough that they don't know if they're going to flank or go through CT, but we're definitely going to be playing together here.
Yeah, playing together is going to be the name of the game during this retake because you do not want to take fights alone because most likely you're going to be outnumbered. So it does look like most of our retake efforts are going to be focused into market. Toxic going to use some of that breach utility. Does not quite work out for Grace or Lynn. Now it's all up to Toxic. Able to find one, but gets traded off of it. And UMD has lost, I believe, their first defensive round.
Yeah, I mean, it was our save. We had lost a lot of guns before that round before, so we didn't have that many guns during our bonus, but we were able to get 2 of them, which means 2 of them are going to kind of struggle here and only be able to do half shields here. Looking at the scoreboard, very even throughout. We have Toxic, Grace, Gojo, Ives, in around the same kill area, so everyone's doing their part. Lynn, we've seen some great eyes from Lynn, great initiator util in general, especially holding A with Grace and Breach. It's Toxic. It's going really good there. But yeah, I guess the enemy team kind of has an idea that Gojo's playing market, so if they can get a pick off of Gojo, I think they're going to start hitting B a lot, because obviously, I mean, that worked out really well for them last round, so I can see them trying to do that again.
Yeah, mid-aggression yet again from the attack side, and we do see yet just again that's the same A-hold being put up by the Terps, but I don't know if anyone's going to walk through there anytime soon because we've been seeing really late site executes from the Eagles attack, and instead it's going to be aggression from the Terps through A main pays off for Grace, and that's going to prompt this attack to go through market. But Gojo just holding down the fort in market, gets taken down eventually, but not without taking down 2. Spike's going to be in control of the attack, which means they're going to be able to get a plant down, and this round looks very similar to the previous round in terms of a 3-person retake from UMD.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only difference is now they're only going against 2 people, and with 2 people, you got to play a little bit safer because you can't just put yourself onto site against 3 people. So they're going to play main here. They're going to play off a Spike, and UMD is going to be trying to get the defuse here, Aftershock to get at least maybe half, but instead gets that pick. They're just going to play together here. That's it. Yep, easy round, easy retake.
And now UMD only 3 wins away from finding victory in this series, so it's all a matter of them just keeping up the momentum they've built on this defense because they've won most of their defensive rounds, so they just gotta pretty much keep doing what they've been doing. I can't really point out anything that I think they need to desperately change too much.
Yeah, I mean, they've been doing amazing here, especially with just playing together with the retake. Really good. I wonder, I don't know, I mean, it looks like the Jet wants to peek market again. I remember one time the Jet was able to pick off Cypher, aka Gojo. So maybe trying to do that again.
And this time we do see an A push from the attack, and there's a crossfire held if they do get through. But look at this aggression from UMD. Fade Ultimate invested, and so much damage done already early into the round. So UMD just throwing so much utility their way to deter them from A site. It's going to force the attack to back up into mid a little bit. But look at the positioning from Ives and Gojo being really aggressive if they do choose to walk in from B main. But that does not look like it's going to be the play call. Instead, it's going to be a slow walk up through mid. They got to work through a lot of Cypher utility in order to get there, though.
Yeah, Grace gets this pick off of A main, but honestly, them pushing up mid is a little bit scary just because we're not holding anything. They have literally Boba. It's been kind of swapped here. Gojo's holding main, and now they have taken site with breach stun, and Gojo's not going to be able to quite get that breach, but is able to get an omen. Ives gets picked off by the breach, and looks like the rest of our team is just going to rotate over. Numbers are in our favor. Spike hasn't been planted. We don't really need to be too aggressive, but, you know, we're confident, and we get that round off. Which this next round could be match point.
Yeah, and looking at our economy, we're in a really good place to buy up here and push this thing to match point. Because once you're at match point, the other team's only hope is overtime. So it's really important to get yourself at 12. Just to, you know, mentally be able to tell yourself, okay, just one more round and we're good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we have so much going on for us right now. We have the breach ult, we have Cypher ult, we have Ray's ult. Looks like Ray's going to be aggro here and do that ult. She's probably going to have to throw it here down in A main. Let's see if she can get a kill with that. I don't think she does, but looks like they're doing a heavy attack onto B site. We're just going to play retake here. They get spiked down. Nade pushes them a little bit closer to Boba. Where Gojo is not going to get the pick off the breach.
Yeah, now it's only Lynn left, but it's down to a 1v1. She's got to defuse Spike. It's going to be hard with this Sova utility, especially with that drone pinging her, and the darts and the shock darts are just going to come flying through. Down to 14 HP, a shock dart would do it, and it takes down Lynn, but the UMD just has so much of a cushion here, many rounds to lose before they would be mildly concerned about, you know, sending into overtime. So they are going to be on a bit of a save, but there are only light shields on the other side as well. But regardless, you want to see UMD just really start to close this thing out and not let things get too out of hand.
Yeah, we still have the lead 11-7. It looks like the attacking team is going to try and go B here. Possibly do like a faster push, just knowing that we're on a save. We might not have, you know, 100% of a setup here. Yeah, and looks like they're going to be aggro here. They already breached sun, already jet dashed into site. We still have Cam though, just to get a little bit of information. Ives head dinks their enemy omen, leaving the enemy omen to be only about half HP here. Grace is coming up on Boba. She gets good info here, but she's so low. She only has, I think, what it is, Sheriff. She's trying to throw everything she's got.
Yeah, with the Sheriff, it's so hard. Now that she's smoked off, it's going to be even harder. Able to pick up a Spectre, but this round is just not looking great for the Terps as they are smoked off and they do lose Grace. All down to Gojo with only a classic in hand. So Terps are not going to come away with that round, but hopefully now they're going to be on a bye and just have better weapons because last round was a save.
Yeah, that's pretty unlucky. I mean, we were on a save, like you said, so hopefully this round we're able to do a little bit better. I mean, I wonder if what they're going to do about this B push. I mean, I think this is the third time they're trying to do it in a row. I don't know if Cypher's going to put both, like Gojo's going to put both of her trips main, or still, you know, maybe have one market. I know sometimes they've been trying to push market. But yeah, we're probably going to see something similar to last round in terms of attack.
Yeah, yet again, we're seeing this B push, like you mentioned, this time UMD being a lot more passive in their hold regardless. Ives gets taken down, and that only leaves Gojo and Market. It looks like they're very aware of her positioning, though, as they're spamming through. The rest of UMD's defense is on A, so it's going to have to be a fast rotate from them to meet up with Gojo before she gets picked off by what looks to be maybe a push into Market.
Yeah, I think Gojo's holding off on checking her cam, just waiting for her teammates to come through. Then she's probably going to check her cam just to see who's there and then possibly push off of that. But we have Toxic here and Boba flashing for our team. I don't know, time is ticking and we don't have too much space yet onto site. Enemy Cypher gets 2, whereas Grace and Toxic gets also picks, but unfortunately we're not able to clean it up. This B site is kind of an issue right now.
Yeah, it's a very much an issue, especially when we're getting into the late game and seeing the Eagles just get themselves back into this thing. They're at 9 round win.
9, yeah.
They're at 9. So the margin is closing for UMD, and it's going to continue to do so because look at their buy.
Yeah,
Not a strong buy, and yet again, looks like the attack is going to plan on doing their trusted B execute. But I would love to see UMD switch this up and place at least 3 defenders there because they keep hitting B.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're gonna play very passive here. I'm talking, don't even show like your body. Like she's playing deep into Boba. Looks like Ives is mid. Where is Ives? I think Ives is mid. They completely take site. We're just gonna wait for everyone and we're gonna play this together. Except Gojo is getting slammed by Util. She is alone here in Market, and this is very dangerous. All of her teammates come, trying to help her out. Grace, it takes a little bit of damage here from the breach. She has her util ready. Good flash by Toxic, able to get a pick right there, and then good stun by Toxic too, but we don't really play off of that, so leaves it to a 3v4 right now. Lynn unfortunately gets picked off by Cypher. And Toxic, using her flash, is able to get a pick off with Cypher, and unfortunately we're not able to close out the round. This B site, it's getting, I don't know, 5th time in a row, 4th time in a row.
UMD's gotta put more people there. Regardless if they think they're gonna switch it up and go A, you cannot allow them to just keep taking B site, and it's the same play every single time. It's just a like full-on rush into B site, and they are having just so much market aggression as soon as they get onto site, even before they plant that bomb, because they know Gojo's sitting there, as she has been every single round. So UMD's gotta put up more of a defense on B.
Yeah, we have not Gojo, we have Dusty here. Coach Cam Dusty. Dusty is cooking something. I can feel it. He's gonna give them that right advice to kind of just maybe, I mean, we could play this one of 2 ways. I haven't seen a flink, which is interesting. That might throw them off a little bit, but it could be expected now that we've taken a timeout. But we're definitely going to be playing B different because same thing, it's just not going to work every time.
Yeah, and I'd be surprised if the attack were to switch it up into A side, considering B's just been working out so well for them. So I don't even know if that's something UMD has to consider going into this round or not. But this is such a crucial round for UMD. They've yet to put themselves at match point.
Oh, interesting. Cypher puts a trip up in mid top. Very interesting. Which is pretty good because we see Jet and I think it's Cypher? Yeah, Jet and Cypher is pushing mid. They can't really go mid top, and even if they do, we have a trip there indicating if they are. Gojo is able to get a great pick off mid, gets Jet out. That's huge. That's their attack.
And this time it's going to be a fast rotate towards A site where Lynn and Toxic are going to be holding a bit of a crossfire entering here, but they're forced to back off of it because there just is so much aggression and so many numbers into elbow now. This time Toxic gonna be backed up into CT, gets taken down, which is gonna mean that with Lynn also getting taken down, A is completely in the hands of the attack here. Bomb's gonna be able to come down in a 2v4 situation.
Yeah, Gojo has ult, but I'm not sure if Gojo's going to use it just because it's a 2v4. This is kind of a hard round right now. I mean, we're going to play together as best as we can. This is hard. Ives is able to avoid that stun. Possibly just saving, yeah. We're just going to save here. Our eco's not the best. This is going to put us to a tie.
Yeah, you
11-11.
just hate to see UMD concede this round because it's going to put us, like you said, at 11-11, which is, you know, prime territory for potential overtime, which is not what you want to see considering UMD had such a lead. They haven't found a round win in, I want to say, just like, you know, 5 rounds, 5 rounds,
Yeah.
I believe. So, yeah, so it's just... It's been a tough couple of rounds for UMD, and it might continue to be the same way because they don't have a strong buy.
Yeah, and look, we see the same thing that got the attacking team to that lead. Well, now we see them, we see, I think we're just gonna, the enemy team is just gonna run the same exact play that they did last round, except this time, Gojo's not putting a trip in mid-top, so we don't know. I mean, they could take that space if they wanted to there. But let's see what happens. Ives is going to close off that market space. That way we don't have to look behind us, but they do break it, giving us info that they're tiles. Gojo's still watching A main. Is kind of forced her position a little bit off here. Ives killing one, but is picked off. Enemy team in the lead right now, 4-3. We do have breach ult.
Spike planted.
This is hard. I mean, this is gonna put either or team to match point here.
And we've just seen UMD in this position so many times, and it's rarely worked out for them. They're gonna have to use the breach ultimate if they want any hopes of this going in their favor. Able to stun, I think, the 2-3 people on site, but regardless, they just cannot capitalize off of it. It's all up to Grace, only with a sheriff in hand, which means it's going to be really difficult, especially with her location revealed. Most likely we're looking at a case where, yeah, the Eagles are at match point, series point at that, because we are on the 3rd map.
Yeah, Eagles got, I don't know, maybe now 6 rounds here straight in a row. The thing is, the rounds have been very, very fast. It's like they kind of lurk around a little bit, they make a little bit of noise, and then instantly they burst onto site, and it's really hard for UMD to like do a full retake from that. But we do have a few ults here. We have Lynn's, which is the Fade. We have Eyes, which is Omen, and Gojo, Cypher ult. So hopefully we can play our cards right and hopefully bring this to OT.
Yeah, OT is really our only hope here, which is unfortunate because we just had such a lead to work off of. But here we are. There's no room for error if you're UMD. And looks like they're going to play the defense really, really passively. And we see for probably 7th, 8th time in a row a B execute. This time Gojo, though, able to make things work outside of market, just playing into Boba, peeking in. So a pick does go in the Terps' favor, but they have lost site control and they have to make a successful retake.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, Lynn's about to pop that, and we're just gonna go. We're gonna play right off of that. She catches at least one, only catches one actually, which is not great. But Grace, good pick on the Cypher. Nice. We have 3. We have OT. Oh my gosh, good round by UMD. That was getting a little scary.
Yeah, and you can see it on their faces, especially Grace just looking a little nervous because we are in OT and it's always nerve-wracking once you get...
Everyone pulling out water.
Yeah, everyone's just taking a water break. But once you get into series point, especially, it can be quite nerve-wracking. We've been in this situation a couple of times before in the studio and always tensions get high.
Yeah, we are on the third game. OT. I mean, it's getting intense, but we are on attack. We didn't do too bad on attack here. We actually did really good. We got the lead, right? I think it was 7-5. So hopefully we can win this round.
Yeah, UMD did come out on top in their attack half, like you were mentioning. So this is really important that they're able to win this first round of OT, because also winning the first round of OT just puts you at such an ease or more ease for the second one. You know, it's not a must-win situation.
Right.
So here we are, UMD on the attack, and a look to default for the most part.
Yeah, we saw this a lot during the attack round where we were just kind of getting info, leaving Spike a little bit just pushed back. We're gonna get the info, maybe a pick, maybe burn their util a little bit, and then we'll play off of that.
Yeah, I don't think UMD's quite spotted anybody. They have spotted a lot of util, but Grace gets things started off, picking off that breach as they were trying to rotate. That's going to lead to A site being in control for the Terps, so Spike's going to be headed that way in Gojo's hands any moment now. And Grace just being really aggressive, not even allowing a retake to form. Great shot from her.
Yeah, that was amazing by Grace there. We have player advantage here. I've sent Omen to Omen, just staring right at each other with just separated between a smoke. They have no idea. But that blind, oh my god, I've missed the blind because was in his smoke form but was able to get that pick.
Yeah, UMD's just got to play numbers here. Time is on your side with the spike. So you just got to not give 1v1s. That's exactly what they do. Great round for Grace, finding 3.
Yeah, Grace is just, you know, she's that star duelist player. I love it. I love seeing her gameplay. And I'm so glad we won attack because that was our strong suit. I mean, we did get that lead in attack. Defense got a little bit shaky there after that first, like, I think 3 rounds is when it kind of went a little downhill. So, you know, having that leverage of winning that first OT match, it's going to be very helpful for the second one. We're gonna have to do something here. Oh, interesting. A push from attack. Haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, but we do have 3 defenders there, so luckily we have a lot of people in position in order to take this fight.
Ooh, good suck by Lin there. Grace unfortunately gets picked off by the Jet, but does get the kill on Breach. Leaves the game to a 3v4 right now. Lin is the only one on site and unfortunately gets picked off there. Gojo and Omen running to try and get this game to their favor, but you know, Ives is solo. 11 HP, it's hard to work with there. Oh, and unfortunately we do not get the round, leading us to round, I guess, 2 of OT.
Yeah, round 2 of overtime. This is all about UMD getting things started off with winning their attack, similar to last time because, like we said, sometimes their defense can be a little shaky. So UMD just really, really got to hone in on this attack.
Yeah, I mean, this is getting intense. Looks like we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to leave that spike up in our spawn and we're going to see what pick we get. And then as soon as we get a pick, we're going to rush that site with spike. We did an early smoke here mid-top. Ives is just going to hold mid-top, maybe see if anyone is going to peek out of that, which I doubt anyone will. I mean, enemy team should play safe here considering it's OT.
And it's going to be Grace and Lin who are peeking up into A, looking elbow. Grace going to be able to clear that with decent amount of confidence, but she's got to watch out for this off angle that Grand Panda's holding on top of boxes. And now Grace is super aware of that. Takes a lot of damage though on the other side of it.
Yeah, Toxic gets a great pick on the breach, leading us to possibly scale up to B. However, though, the Cypher gets a pick on breach, but Gojo is able to trade that. They don't know for sure where we're going. I mean, we still have to get Spike. Looks like we want to go B, but enemy team is scaling up fully towards B. Ives, huge pick in market.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, but time is ticking down. UMD should have decent control over Spike. Gotta get that plant down. And now it's going to be a 2v4 retake in from Boba. Looks like UMD's not being really aggressive, holding that more so relying on this crossfire, which I really do like this passive and this like positioning here from the both of them, Gojo and Lin.
Yeah, Gojo is able to trade out very smoothly, leaving it to 1v2. No idea where they are, honestly. Don't know if they're main, don't know if they're market, and you know, Grace is able to clean it up there again.
So yet another time we see UMD win their attack side of OT, but the question is, will they be able to find success on the defense, which they've struggled to do both during the game and in their previous round of OT.
Yeah, I was expecting UMD to win attack. I mean, we're so good at it. This defense is just hard. I think we just need to change it up. Even like maybe putting a Cypher trip somewhere else, not fighting certain angles, it might work out in our favor. Yeah, it looks like we're going to put a Cypher chip in market this time. That way we don't fully need to worry about it. They are breaking the door there. At least the breaches. We have the enemy team has 4 people up in mid. They're going to have to go through that Cypher trip at the very least. Yeah, Cypher trip grabs them. That gives us a lot of info right now that we have, you know, they have a lot of people there in market. Enemy team is planting at this point. Unfortunately, the Sova gets 2 picks off of us. Gojo trading and getting their main duelist. Their Jet is now down. Ooh, 2v3 now. Grace making a 2v2, getting that breach out.
UMD's got to find their way onto the site and defuse a bomb. There's 2 attackers sitting in their way, though. Got to make way onto the site. Going to use breach utility to make it happen. Throw the Roomba one direction. Grace looks the other. Finds the
has
pick,
ult.
Pulls out her ultimate.
She gets it. That is game. We win our first game of NECC. Wow, that was a really good game. Hey, that's I spoke. I want to cry. What just happened? What just happened?
Okay, well, here we are, everybody, in our. Okay, let's take a regroup. Let's just take a regroup.
Let's take a little breather here. Can we get a replay or something? I didn't know what happened there. What happened, Spike? Just no time?
Yeah, I don't think she had time. This was great. Throwing the Roomba one way, looking the other. Just has the instinct to pull out ultimate ASAP.
Oh, we didn't have it, and we just missed it by like, I don't know, maybe a second.
Wow.
Oh, that's tough. That is so tough. Wow. We almost had it. We really almost had it.
Well, if you're not invested in this game, I don't know what game you're watching, because this is just such a close game. Here we are into our 3rd round of overtime.
Let's see. I'm reading your guys' chats right now. Oh, we have compliments to Lily on her hair.
Oh my god, thank you. Anybody who's complimenting my hair.
We have W Grace. Yeah, this is getting intense. Really intense here.
Yeah.
Ooh. All right. This is what, 4th or 3rd round into OT?
This is our 3rd round of OT.
Okay, 3rd round into OT. We're doing the same thing. We're running it up. But looks like, you know, enemy team is taking mid space. Never mind. Just taking a little peek. Just looking.
Yeah, UMD just kind of going with their same play call they've had in the past 2 rounds of overtime. Taking elbow with Grace, just being aggressive, throwing her Roomba that way. Spike's in the same spot it's always been, you know, at the start of these rounds. But this time, just looking pretty promising like it has in the past. Grace has got a clear CT, though. And no, she doesn't. She gets picked off of it, which is not what we've seen in the past couple rounds. And that is not how Terps want to start off this overtime round.
Yeah, typically Grace is the one that gets the pick, and then we all just flood into A. But now it's like, what do we do? I mean, we have Spike. Maybe we're going to scale up B. Maybe we're going to, like, retry and get a pick somewhere and, like, still follow through with our plan. This is different than the other rounds have been going for OT.
Yeah, now we've reached a bit of a stalemate on both sides. Everyone being quite quiet. Looks like UMD will decide to push into market, but they are going to be met with a decent amount of Cypher utility and breach utility for that matter that they've got to work around.
Ooh, Ives getting a great pick here in market.
Oh no, but time.
Unfortunately, Cypher gets 2. Gojo's able to kill that Cypher. 4 seconds left on the clock. We don't plant. So at this point, it's just the killing game. And this is our first time losing attack on overtime. This is scary. We haven't lost attack yet. So it's really up to just this round in defense for us to win it out.
Yeah, if there's any time UMD's got to figure out their defense, it's right here and right now in the third round of overtime on the third map of the series. So here we are. UMD's got to just figure out a defense strategy here. But yet again, we see the 3 stack on A and only one person holding site B, and it is going to be a B execute, which we saw be just so problematic for them during the normal rounds of this game.
Well, they are into site, completely into site. They have planted. We have Ive spraying, maybe, trying to get some damage done, but unfortunately does not do much. I mean, enemy team has a lot of space here on to B site. We're gonna have to pull something great here.
Perfect retake if we're gonna want to win this round. Looks like we're gonna send 3 people in from market. Grace gets things started with 1 pick, gonna take space off of that, but Lynn and Gojo get taken down.
Yeah, currently a 3v3 time is ticking, and unfortunately Ives gets picked off. Toxic's able to get 2, but unfortunately it's a 1v1 now. Time ticked. Grace, I don't know, I don't think she gets it. Unfortunately.
No.
Yeah, with just 0.95 seconds left. 0.95 seconds determining the outcome of this game. And then unfortunately, it led to a defeat.
So close. Such a competitive game. Obviously, you can't be mad at that we really did get, our money's worth in terms of a game into 3 rounds of overtime. So, great job from both sides. Great try from the Terps. And, I know you hate to see your own team not come out of the other end of that one.
Yeah, well, I'm proud anyways. So we'll see you at the next stream. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for watching.